We don't know very much about this Quebec championship team from Alma, Quebec, but we do know that Marie-Claude Carlos trying to win Quebec's second championship. Lee Tobin did it in '75. We've seen Cathy Floyd before. This is her 8th appearance at a Scott Tournament of Hearts. Usually we've seen her playing with Heidi Hanlon, but now she's on her own and looking to win New Brunswick's second. Standing first overall after 9 draws, Alberta Cathy Borst, but Canada and Ontario are at 4 wins as well. On through the 2 teams sitting at 4 losses, New Brunswick and Newfoundland. All the games on the ice here in the 10th draw will feature New Brunswick and Quebec. We'll keep our eye on as well Manitoba and Alberta, the leaders, Borst at 4-1. Here in Regina, weather couldn't be finer. And the Scott Tournament of Hearts. Welcome back to the Agridome, and with more on today's featured game, Quebec and New Brunswick, Lyndon Ray.
Well, Vic, we have 2 teams both fighting for a playoff berth, and New Brunswick really in a must-win situation. Both teams need a win, though, Ray.
They sure do, Linda. But first of all, I have to wish you a very happy birthday. And husband Al thought it only appropriate that I give you these flowers since I spend so much time with you from him, and a little kiss on the cheek from Al.
Thank you very much, and thank you, Al. Very kind of you to think of me.
The skip for Quebec, Marie-Claude Carlos, as you said, is she looks very, very strong. She makes a lot of shots, but she's been out there alone a few times. The team is very inexperienced, and she ran into a red-hot, mad Sandra Schmurder this morning. And, you know, when you play move to the big time, you have to make the big shots, and Sandra just never gave her a chance. I think this afternoon she's going to have her hands full as well with Cathy Floyd. Cathy's got experience, and this could be a very interesting game, but Quebec's going to have to play well to beat Cathy.
Well, they are, because Cathy has that experience, and her team is out shooting the Quebec team. Both of them like rocks in play. They've actually had some high-scoring games, and neither have lost badly until that last round when, you said it, Sandra Schmurler came out firing. So we do expect a close game with lots of rocks in play, but we do look for experience to out in this case. Vic?
New Brunswick at 4 losses, Quebec at 3. You really can't afford much more than 4 this week here in Regina. Want to keep up to date on all the teams, scores, standings, and so much more in our season of champions that rolls on to Winnipeg next and Labatt Brier. Well, it's all available to you at the TSN web address, www.tsn.ca/curling. It's Quebec and New Brunswick. When we come back, it's round 10. The Scott Tournament of Hearts from Regina.
I know, and every time you
When AT&T Canada started this Dime Time thing, I said to myself, Dime Boy, you gotta be a part of this. Call anyone in Canada, any evening, any weekend, for a dime or less. Who needs the phone? Dime Time someone you love, okay? I'm no hero. I'm just trying to get Canada talking. One dime at a time. New Dime Time, only from AT&T Canada.
Twinkle, twinkle, little star, how I wonder what you are. Up above the world so high, like a diamond in the sky. Twinkle, twinkle, little star, how I wonder what you are.
Wouldn't putting your stars together with our 5-star rating be a bright thing to do?
Remember, kids in the backseat.
And buckle up!
I've been through good times and bad times in the market. You know, the decisions and the advice I provide for my clients' RSPs are designed to protect their money. That's how I make my contribution.
Canadian Imperial Bank of Commerce, seeing beyond.
Clean is my business. So when I'm on the road, Super 8's my motel. Clean carpets, clean seats, clean. Clean inside and out. Life's great at Super 8.
Air Force One. Buy it now on video.
The president's plane has been hijacked.
Harrison Ford is magnificent. This is the one you've been waiting for.
Air Force One, you still with us? We're still here.
Air Force One. Buy it now on video cassette and DVD.
When it comes to complete baseball coverage, even the best think of us first. The Jays return to TSN Tuesday, March 3rd.
The 1998 Scott Tournament of Hearts from Regina, Saskatchewan on TSN is brought to you by White Swan. Quality runs in our family.
Welcome back to the Agridome. The 4 sheets in play. As always, full draw, this 10th draw. And our featured game is on sheet B, second from the left. Let's find out what the ice might be doing or might be up to. Let's read the ice now with Ray, and it's all brought to you by Star Choice.
Well, it's been tricky ice, Victor. Good ice, but tricky. And by that, I mean, let's talk first of all about the curl. Now, it changes through the game. It goes about 2.5 to 3 at the beginning. We watched the practice, and around the corners, about 3. You cannot get into this 12-foot area here, so you got to play your corners in this area to keep any movement at all. And the big thing is you have to watch it through the game because it will change a bit. Now, when you're hitting, a lot of teams have been playing from the outside in, and it really is tricky. There's some lines out there. We think it's safer to play from the inside out on both sides of the sheet, a little more consistent. Yes, there will be some frost buildup, not too bad, I hope, and that makes it tricky. The slide path has been holding, and now we're ready to go. Youth and experience.
Now, there's no doubt the youth is with Quebec. Jane Arsenault throws the lead stones for New Brunswick. Sylvie Fortin for Quebec. Allison Franey the second. Julie Blackburn. The respective thirds, June Campbell for the team from St. John. And Natalie Gagnon. The 2 skips, Cathy Floyd from the Thistle St. Andrews Curling Club represents New Brunswick. And from the Riverbend Alma Curling Club in Alma, Quebec, Marie-Claude Carlos, New Brunswick, to play the Red Stones. So they will have the hammer in this first end of play. And to get us going, this is the Quebec lead, Sylvie Fortin.
Well, when you watch the numbers come up, you will see that the Quebec players are near the bottom of the various positions as far as shooting percentages. But when you look at the scores, Ray, I was just amazed. Every game, win or loss, up until the one against Team Canada, was only 1 point either way, winning by 1 or losing by 1. They were always in the game.
Actually, I noticed that myself this morning as I thumbed through the stats, which I never do. But I had a little
you
time.
had that extra time,
just after I slipped out of the tub to put my robe on. That's more information than you need to know. I guess.
And as far as New Brunswick goes, their number is a little bit higher, as you see, more middle of the pack. They had an opening loss to Team Canada, 6-4. Again, a very good game. Then won in a 10-9 match against Manitoba. They've had some real ups and downs, but again, never a very bad loss. The worst one coming earlier today against Nova Scotia.
See, Cathy Floyd is going to really get at it. She ignored the stone in the rings and asked for the corner guard. Now, when you get asked for that corner guard, you got to make it, because if it slips into the rings, the opposition can now hit it, and they can be lying too. And the plan that you had, and the obviously plan that Cathy had, now has to be changed because that free guard stone is not in that free guard zone area.
Now, we saw this aggressiveness against Team Canada in the first game we televised in draw 1. Problem with Cathy was that she didn't stay aggressive, Linda. She changed it midway through.
There was a bit of an ebb and flow to the strategy, and sometimes that makes it difficult. He's just on top of things, Rays. You know, I barely remember what day it is, let alone what happened Saturday. And he's remembering the first end of the first game we did.
Well, he's one in a million. They don't come along like him. You know, they've thrown away the pattern, that little Swiss fella.
Yeah.
He's like the very reliable Swiss clock. Just keeps it ticking. A little cuckoo. You're not. You can't steal my lines. I never do that to you. I never do that to you.
Halfway.
Tell you, I never heard that one before.
Well, I know, but I mean,
oh man.
But a tried and true line.
it is 100 games a year, Beckham. Looking for another guard.
And I guess Vic and I were talking about this morning, the one thing that sort of characterized the first few days of play, and again earlier today, is the players are having trouble with draw weight, and it's been very consistent, but again today, everything behind the tee line, when you had to have them top 12-foot or top 8-foot.
Yeah, you really have to convince yourself that, because when it gets frosty and gets a little slow underfoot, even when you're walking along and then you see it fudging in the circles as the intern hits, you just didn't get out to it. Then you somehow it plants a seed in your mind, and then you think, oh gee, it's a little bit heavier. But a good example of it, and you showed the shot again this morning, was when Ann Merklinger had to draw to the 8-foot to win her game last night against Sandra Schmurder. She just laid it down. Audrey Frey took 2 solid times on the ice. One was off the center, one was on the center, and they talked. And I'm sure Audrey said to Ann, it's still 24 a little bit, and we'll get it there for you. Because you have a tendency on ice like this that has that little film on it to sometimes step up your weight. And if you remember that shot, which we can remember one shot back, they brushed it all the way. They jumped on it all the way. They took it right to the button, but they got on it immediately. She threw it to the brushers.
I did talk to Ann about that, and we talked about the psychology of seeing frost, but understanding that only the side is the most affected if you stay in the 4-foot band. It's not, but this morning, when we talk morning draws, the frost is really not there.
No.
It's nice and consistent across, and you have to believe it's going to slide.
Wait up a touch.
Marie-Claude Carlos has really made some wonderful shots. She won a game single-handedly the other day when she froze. I believe it was against BC. I think it was against BC.
Could have been a 7-6 win.
When she made it, they were tied up coming home, I think, and she froze a stone, or was she one down and got 2? You got that in front of you?
I think it was tied, and she stole it. I'll have to look back.
Yeah. Anyway, she made a great freeze, and then a terrific second shot to win it by herself. And so she looks like she has a really good stomach for throwing the rock last.
She made the freeze, and that meant BC could only get 1 in 10, and then Quebec scored in 11.
That's right, exactly. She won on the extra. Well, at least I had the right team.
You did very well.
Yeah.
There. I kind of like the other side, Catherine. I like that. I don't mind the wing either.
Now, the only thing about the ice, as Ray has pointed out, and I must admit this morning I got a little fooled in the reading the ice segment, it is straighter to start. Practice is a little straighter to start, and then during the game you're going to get more movement. So you have to be very careful in the early ends. When you try these come-arounds, you don't give yourself too much ice. Leave the one open, and then the opponent can get the hit and roll.
And as we said in the reading the ice segment, you got to change with the swing. You got to make sure that you understand that it makes a little change, and you got to go with it. Because in the latter part of the game this morning, it looked to me like it was really moving in lots of areas.
Terrific. As I said, the ice was giving them everything. You could make almost any shot you wanted.
Natalie Gagnon rolls it out into the open. The Quebec third here in this first.
Control.
June Campbell, a native of Wynard, Saskatchewan.
Yep.
She'll be moving back to Saskatchewan, in fact, to the Regina area in the next couple of months.
Whoa. Normal.
Nice roll.
Shot. Hey, girl. Good shot. Thanks, guys.
This Ford email from Gail Woodsworth in Halifax, Nova Scotia, who is hosting the 1999 Scott Tournament of Hearts.
It's moving to beautiful Prince Edward Island.
And Charlottetown, PEI, February 20th through the 28th. There's the number for information, and it's co-chaired by Kim Dolan, former PEI champion, who we've seen many times at the Scott Tournament of Hearts.
Looking for the run back. This is a good call. Rocks are fairly close to each other. You can't get at it any other way.
From the River Bend Alma Curling Club in Alma, Quebec, 24-year-old Marie-Claude Carlos.
Oui! Yes! Oui! Look at it, please. Yes, 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 yes.
Just curled too much.
And drives it by. So New Brunswick with last rock has one buried.
Yeah. Right there.
And she'll go again. She'll go to the outside, I guess, this time. Advantage of last rock. Going to the wings.
T-line or back.
Okay, back behind the
We're
seat.
going to the open side.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Over here, by 2.
The reason they bring this one deep, T-liner better, is so that if there's a hit and roll, it will not be into a great position for the opponent.
Three. Can't hurt her.
Great roll by June Campbell has set this up. A tremendous roll. Cathy Floyd with a draw to the open side. And as Linda mentioned, get it back so that you can't.
Let's take her back. Let's take her back. All the way. Back,
you can't hit it and get a good roll off it. You get it way back as far as you can.
Good job, Cass. Girl, Cass. Good one.
With the positioning of the stones, you have no choice but to kind of accept the fact that hit the back one, try and roll it over, and hopefully you can be shot. You can hit this and roll over in to the middle of the 8 foot and get shot rock off it, I believe.
Definitely.
Keeping our eye on the game between Canada and Nova Scotia. Team Canada's Sandra Schmerler has the hammer against Marie-Claude. And this is a hit for 2 in the first end for the defending Canadian world and gold medal winners. Can't hold the shooter, so it'll be 1. Edge of the 8 foot for Team Canada, so missed opportunity early for Sandra Schmerler.
In our game, we have a hit. Now they're just trying to decide who's shot rock, because obviously if the red is shot, then Cathy can draw for 2. If not, she must hit it.
All right, control.
Too close to make a decision, so we're going to hit it.
Now they are sticking with his outside
Yeah.
in spot. In this particular spot, it doesn't seem to be too tricky, but you and I still both believe the other one is a little more consistent
And then
in those
also,
areas.
yeah, I really do feel it. And then also you can hit that going into it and then roll, roll the whole sheet of ice to roll across. And also the houses are not alive, Vic. We've talked about it so much. So the chances of hitting and sticking are very good. If you just make the slightest little outside motion on release, these will run very straight.
Cathy Floyd.
Oh.
Final stone.
Normal.
Looking to score 2 here in the first. New Brunswick.
And there's an example
There,
right there.
It's so much safer the other way.
Hey, Cathy.
Can't hold the shooter, so missed opportunity here as well for New Brunswick. Floyd settling for 1. Quebec to have the hammer when we come back for the second end of this 10th draw, the Scott Tournament of Hearts on TSN.
Got 2 minutes.
performance that nails you to your seat. But enough about the high-performance computers Dell built for Ford. What can we build yours to do? Call in for just $99 a month. You can lease this Dell Dimension XPS with a 333 megahertz Intel Pentium 2 processor, 64 megs of SD RAM, 8.4 gig hard drive, Microsoft Office Small Business Edition and Windows 95, a 17-inch monitor, 32x Max variable CD-ROM, an 8 megabyte AGP video card, even an X2 US robotics modem, and 24-hour tech support. The Dell Dimension XPS with a 333 megahertz Intel Pentium 2 processor. Pure performance for just $99 a month. Dell, what can we build yours to do?
It's been part of this country for generations, on neighborhood streets from coast to coast, as Canadian as winter and hockey. Home Hardware, helping Canadians build their dreams. Look for these featured products. Miracle Grow, all-purpose water-soluble plant food for flowers, vegetables, trees, and houseplants. 15-30-15 formula works almost instantly. Scott's Turf Builder +2 Weed Control. This slow-release, long-lasting fertilizer controls 26 common weeds. Home Gardener Poly Garden sprayers for all your lawn and garden protection needs. Various sizes available, up to 3 gallons. Watch for Home Hardware's close to home on NHL telecasts.
She says she forgives you, but next time, she's calling Allied. Okay? Okay?
Thank you, Canada, for making Allied the biggest and best in the country.
We're early in this 10th draw here in Regina. All the scores for you. We showed you Canada missing the chance for 2. That's our featured game. New Brunswick could have had a pair. Kelly Kalo with the hammer blanks the first against Heather Strong from Newfoundland and Manitoba. Lois Fowler gets 1. Cathy Borst, leading the standings at 4-1, has the hammer playing the second. Jane Arsenault.
No.
First rock into the rings.
Not at all.
Change of stones.
No. Oh, Jane.
Sylvie Fortin.
Whoa. Oh, no.
Of course, we were in the Alma region. It's in Lac Saint-Jean. We were in Chicoutimi, the Twin Cities, Chicoutimi, Jonquière, 88 Briar.
Yeah. Remember the first game we did? It was an evening game, actually. The second game we did.
I don't mind this. I wasn't there. So
Eddie Wernick against Kerry Burting. Remember that?
No.
Oh, that Sunday night game. Oh, powerful. You were there, weren't you?
Yeah, I was. Yeah, I was.
Yes. T-line. All the way. 2, 3.
Actually, I was there right before that on an Olympic curling tour, and leading up to our Olympics, we went right across the country, Newfoundland to Vancouver, 10-day trip. And one of our visits was to Chicoutimi, and it was a beautiful part of the country.
Sure is.
A lovely visit.
Yeah, I spent some time there too, Linda. I taught curling in the Lac Saint-Jean area in Alma many years ago. Eddie and Progy Ricken stayed in their home. Beautiful area.
New Brunswick sitting 2. Quebec's going to try and hit and roll.
Whoa!
Well, we're not going to talk about the outside-in situation anymore. We've already given you our opinions and what they should be playing in those kind of situations. We think it's safer to play the inside-out. So we'll drop it and watch what happens.
You know, you can drop it. The one more thing I did want to say, and I mentioned it to you in the break, Ray, the reason they do it is often they come from the curling club environment where it runs very consistent outside in. And all we're saying is on the arena ice, it's tending to be more difficult because of things like the frost. And so making that switch is sometimes difficult. So sometimes during the season, it may be good to play one entire game inside out, another entire game outside in, and get used to playing the variety of systems. And then when you come into this environment, it's not difficult to make the switch if you need it.
Good point.
Julie Blackburn.
Not Shipper. Usually.
It gets nothing.
I'm not saying anything.
I know.
No.
Quicker? No. 3.5.
I can just see Vic in his next game when they put the broom down for the outside-in shot. He'll be yelling down to the guys, "No, Debbie, please. I like to play inside out. I don't like to play the outside-in."
Line only! Whoa. Line only! Tight! Line's good. Where are we? Weight's good, tight. Top house, top 12. Foot. Want a biter. It's a good shot, June. Atta girl. Atta girl.
June Campbell
Good one.
comes in, bites top 8. Quebec, the youngest team here, average age 28.
Out-turn hit.
And Natalie's takeout percentages have been very good. Actually, it's been her draws that have brought her overall percentage down. Oh, very close to the double and roll. Nice shot.
Natalie originally from Cornwall, Ontario.
Normal? Whoa. Oh. Never. Never. Peace. Good shot. Atta girl. Good one, June.
Doubles there.
Natalie Gagnon. In the second, 1-0 New Brunswick leading. Get them both. Roll over on top. A little too far.
The other way was to play it the other way. Play it on the center line side. Try and roll over the other way.
There, right here. Hey. Same thing as June, I think. Yeah. Straight up to speed, cast. Yeah.
Trying to put this one top 8 foot, top 12 foot in front of shot rock.
Lots of choices here to where to put this.
Cathy Floyd.
2-3. Top house. Whoa. 12 foot.
And one of the teams that divides the
8 foot. She's right up.
it into areas 2-3. Is that what?
Very good. They divide the area over the hog line into zones, and they call out to the person in the house what zone it's going to land into. That one's a little bit deeper than they wanted.
What would it in fact be? maybe 1, 2, 2 between the hog lines and the top of the house. Top of the house, front of the tee line might be 3. Behind the tee line might be 4. Is that what you're thinking? Is that?
I think they have 5 zones, so between the hog line and back line, they would have 5.
Okay.
Everybody does it a little bit differently, but it's a good idea if you want to communicate just by a single number as opposed to having call out an area. Split them into the different segments and call out that one number.
So we say the youngest team here, Marie-Claude is 24, Natalie is 23, Julie is 23, and then lead Sylvie Fortin is 40. Oh, it's a combination we've seen before, the combination of some experience, although none of these ladies in any of their biographies have any previous experience at a national level.
Just control, Cass?
Yeah.
Playing the hit. To lie 3.
Playing the hit, maybe a little flop in front of her own.
Control up. Oh. Normal. Close. Close. Yeah.
Nice shot.
Tried to make the roll. And now Marie-Claude faces 3 with her last one.
Well, that's pretty good because she can't nose it.
So?
This young skip has looked at a lot of shots like this, pressure shots throughout the week so far, and she's made a lot of them. She deserves a lot of credit. She has no choice but play the outside in on this shot. Got to be careful not just to put it back, throw it nice and free, and it'll run down there for you.
That was the nice thing about Cathy's shot. Sitting there, she got a little more of a flop, fine too, but she does force the Quebec skip into that outside in spot, and you do have to be careful.
Well, this is now a second straight game, Linda. When you think back to this morning against Team Canada and the shots she was forced to make, the pressure, this is another game where she's being forced to look at a number of stones with her last one.
Wait.
Quickly. Sylvie Fortin, Julie Blackburn, catch it.
Very well thrown.
And sit edge of the back 4 for the single. Marie-Claude Carlos in Quebec pick up 1 here in the second. We're all tied 1-1 through a couple in the 10th draw.
Dear Dave, my fiance and I went out to buy the ring. She saw a really nice one, but it was more than I thought.
$5,000.
Honey, let's not buy the ring. Let's buy one of those big screen TVs instead. Apparently, I said something wrong. So we went to Wendy's. A junior bacon cheeseburger and biggie fries for me, baked potato and chili for her. Your food was delicious, and it's a great value because everything was on the super value menu. Which brings me back to the big TV. What do you think?
Buy the ring.
Wendy's Super Value Menu, where everything is always just 99 cents or $1.39 every day.
You remember Jay. He still doesn't say very much, especially when he's enjoying his McCain Super Fries. And he doesn't seem to care that they've only got 5% fat because they still taste great. McCain Super Fries, deep fried flavor and crispness with only 5% fat. For the strong, silent type.
Another Nokia discovery. Small words are hard to read, which is why at Nokia we make our screens big, so they're easier to read. Inspired technology with a human touch. Nokia, connecting people.
Honey, do you need any help? Mommy, I'm a big girl now.
You can feel the cottony softness.
Cottony soft.
Cottonelle.
Gentle. Hypoallergenic.
What's going on in there?
Just bathroom stuff, Mom.
Cottonelle.
Feel the cottony softness.
Let's quickly go to the game between Manitoba and Alberta as we return to the Agridome. Manitoba, Lois Fowler playing Red Stones, scored one with the hammer in the first. Cathy Borst, the current leader at 4-1, playing her final stone and is lying one, biting the top of the button and absolutely covered. So now what is this, the wide in-turn draw for her?
Looks like it, Dick. It looks like she's trying to draw down the face of the stone and get two.
Now this is the side closest to the stands, and we're not sure about the frost creep. It looks like this one isn't moving in very well.
And it's early in the game too, Lou, so. One yellow.
One only, says Heather Godberson. And so it is 1-1 Manitoba, Alberta through two. And Lois Fowler from Brandon will have the hammer playing the third. Now let's update the game between Team Canada and Nova Scotia. You see Canada scored one with the hammer in the first, had a chance for two, but couldn't hold the shooter. This is the final stone for Marie-Claude and her team from the Mayflower Curling Club in Halifax with a record of 3-3. Quiet tap back to score one, top four, and a 1-1 tie against the defending Canadian champions. Their record 4-2 coming into this 10th draw. Our game tied 1-1 as we play the third. New Brunswick has the hammer.
Nice shot by the young skip to get her single. And she did it with a great deal. Actually, that's the kind of confidence you see in a lot of young people. They're fearless, and she just put the broom down. She didn't baby the weight. She threw it up.
Exactly
and she,
right.
You know, as you mentioned before, she threw it. If she put that back at all or just thrown it out a little bit, it is gone. And that's the kind of shot making that she's been displaying all week. She's a very confident young curler. The whole team just needs to get more experience. And you know, I'm not certainly in any fashion writing them out of this event or anything, because look at their record, 3-2, and they're right there. But she's very, very confident. Really a good sign.
3, 4. Close for line. 4 count.
3-3, Regina points out. You're absolutely right again.
Is it through? It's behind the tee line.
Well, she was 3-2 this morning.
Before the game today.
Just when I woke up, she was 3-2.
Asleep. That's right.
Sit, okay. Okay, Allison.
It's like a biter.
Your whole day is trying to help me get out of the two of you. You know?
Sometimes you
what's he going to say next?
Sometimes there's no help. I'm sorry. You're my partner, but I'm going to let you go. I have a career. You're going to go down by yourself.
All right. Okay.
Julie Blackburn.
Trying to cut off the come around behind that right-hand side corner guard, getting there first.
Yes. Yes.
Great line.
Very
Good
nice
super.
shot.
Lovely shot.
Mostly.
Once they got it by, they should just let it die and stop a little shorter. Better to be a little bit further forward than back there, but that's a great shot.
Back line.
Allison Franey.
Whoa. Whoa. I'm ready.
Very nice shot.
And avoids the jam at the back.
Yeah, you're right, Vic, and you have to give Allison credit for throwing it so well, but the ice makers, because we're seeing wonderful movement, and it was something, as I mentioned, we didn't see first thing today in practice. It has developed a bit as the day has gone on, but that curled beautifully with that kind of weight.
And the thing, too, is that's the 8-foot. And then as you move over into the 12-foot, you don't get that finish, and there's nothing they can do about it, because that's kind of where the frost kind of builds up into. But you're absolutely right. That's great finish. Right to the edge of the 12-foot. There's a good shot.
Very nicely done by Natalie Gagnon. Good brushing by that front end as well of Fortin Blackburn. Right away, out of her hand, Natalie Gagnon.
Get up. Okay.
A little bit of a different broom there that has something on the top for when she's sweeping. Doesn't need it for throwing, of course. When she's sweeping, it positions itself around her arm. You see little innovations. Gary Vandenberg, I guess, is the one we know the most, is the most innovative sweeping, not sweeping tool, throwing tool that couldn't be used for sweeping.
Yeah, he throws with that design brush that's got high up off the ice, so he feels it keeps his shoulders square, and we showed that and talked about it in the previous shows.
This Ford email from Kevin McGraw in Kitchener, Ontario. How often is the ice cleaned or flooded to get rid of the frost buildup?
Well, the ice makers work on it after every draw, and of course first thing in the morning, very early today. That's an hour before game time. Working on the ice, they scrape it. They will also use a burner to try and get the frost down deep. There it is between draws, scraping again. And they will often actually pebble first and then scrape. They're finding new ways of getting that frost to come out by these different techniques.
Try and draw it up. And I believe it was Monday night, they used the burners in between draws to try and get the frost up and out. After every draw, they work on it.
And it takes about 15 minutes a sheet, so they have to really hustle in that gap between the first and second draws. They do a great job.
White ball. White ball.
You know, when you just have an hour between draws in the morning, it really is, as Linda says, it really is a tough job. You really have to hustle to get it all done.
Well, in fact, they start before the games are all completed. Usually they wait till the whole draw is done, but they'll pick their spots.
I think what a lot of people forget is all the volunteers here, the ice makers, the statisticians. Brian Cassidy, head statistician. This is a volunteer job. They take holidays to come and do this for us, and they put in hours and hours of work to do the job for us and for the curlers, and we really appreciate it.
Do you want this in front of the tee line? Well, I'd like to sit right on it back there, don't you think? Well, she'll sit on you.
Cathy Floyd has last rock here.
You don't need to go to the back one with last rock.
Okay.
What they're saying is, she was saying sit there, and then she said you'll sit on you, but if you put it in here like this, now you've got a chance of setting up your deuce.
Without the hammer, you'll often draw two things if you can't get them out, to try and cut them out of the possibility of being scored. But when you have the hammer and the 4-foot's open, you can go for top 4, top 8, top 12 even.
You need the back one? Tee line. Okay, bring it down. Freeze it. Bring it down. Whoa. Don't let it bump, guys. Whoa, we don't have quite the line. You're not bumping. Okay, easy, easy, easy. You're back to it. Go, Allison. Bring it up. Go, 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 go. Bring it up, bring it up. Okay, Cathy. Okay, Kath.
She really just had too much ice. She was playing down to it all the way as opposed to playing to the in behind the corner. Obviously, because of the we could tell that by the amount of ice she took, because nowhere near getting around the corner.
What's interesting is, you know, this is looking back after we've seen a shot, but after watching all those other shots, she might have been better to try and do the come around on the other corner as opposed to ignoring that stone completely that Quebec had in the back.
Good point.
They do have to be a little careful and make sure they don't hit it on the broom side. Nose or a little bit on the other side will be fine.
Nice free release this young lady has.
Final stone for the Quebec skip here in this third of a 1-1 tie.
Ooh,
she's trying to pick it now because it was hanging.
Don't want to jam it.
It's too difficult that way.
Can't hold the shooter. And so it'll be an open draw for two.
Either got it wide or had a little too much ice.
In hindsight now, is the pick the right shot, or do you play down to it?
She was just trying to hit it to make it slip right in front of it.
Yeah, they did that at the last moment when they realized it wasn't curling, but there was just no way I think that would go out that way.
New Brunswick sitting at 4 losses. Quebec with 3. Cathy Floyd, draw for 2.
Whoa, 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 guys. Lots of room.
Remember, she gave away a point in the first. Doesn't want to give another one here.
Sit, Cathy. Okay, Kath.
Ooh. You make a good point, Vic. She's had two. That's 2 opportunities for
Are you
points.
sure it's not Marie-Claude Carlos's birthday? Because you just got a couple of presents. 2-1, New Brunswick. Missed chances by Floyd. It really is absolutely gorgeous. There's nothing to say about it. Look at this. That's today, here in Regina.
That's Mexico, isn't it?
Since 1982, Scott's Paper has been the proud sponsor of the Scott Tournament of Hearts.
That's right, Gavin. Scott Towels has been there for the spills of victory.
And Scotties was there for the disappointments of defeat. Oh, that was a tough loss.
Here's Sandra Schmerler and the Scott product team practicing their winning form.
What great action! That Scott team really delivers.
That was great. As always, the Scott Tournament of Hearts is brought to you by this family of fine Scott Paper products.
Next. Another case of boredom twitch syndrome.
Nothing relieves boredom twitch syndrome like Star Choice Digital Satellite Television. Over 90 channels of movies, sports, and entertainment. All with cinema quality picture and CD quality sound.
Honey, our favorite movie! Oh, thank you.
For a retailer in your community, call now. Finally, the choice is yours. Star Choice.
Your car is a high-precision instrument. Take it to AutoPro. With qualified personnel and state-of-the-art equipment, it's the expert on brakes, front-wheel drive, steering, suspension, and mufflers. All protected by AutoPro's national warranty. AutoPro, the largest network of car care professionals.
Started with a pair of boots. Kodiak boots, actually. And it just grew from there. It grew from boots to shoes. From shoes to clothing. Everything to dress you up or dress you down. Oops, not that far down. You could say that wearing Kodiaks has taken on a whole new meaning.
Since the Hendrick Racing Team started using Quaker State, they finished 1-2 in the 96 Winston Cup standings. Finished 1-2-3 this year at Daytona. And they've won at Rockingham, Bristol, Martinsville, and Charlotte. Which makes you wonder, is it in their blood or in their engines? Quaker State. The quality the Hendrick Racing Team demands, the quality your car deserves.
Updating the game between Team Canada and Nova Scotia. You see it's 1-1 as we play the third and the final stone for Sandra Schmerler. She lost 2 games yesterday. That rattled her a little bit, but then she bounced back this morning with a thumping of Quebec. That was over in 7 to up her record to 4-2, and now she goes against Nova Scotia. And this is a draw for 2, and she puts it into the 8-foot and a 3-1 lead against Marie-Claude of Halifax at the Agridome. Our home for the week. This, the 98 Scott Tournament of Hearts. There's our, that could be, and probably in the mind of Cathy Floyd, should be 4-1. Giveaway of a single in the first, a giveaway of another single in the third. And so Quebec is down by 1, and they have the hammer playing 4. This is Jane Arsenault.
Whoa. Wait for it. Where's the weight? Wait for it. Where? Yeah.
I was a little surprised at Quebec. They actually were trying to draw into the house this end. It looks like their stones stopped short, which is probably just as well. They want to get something going. But here's a nice tap back. Beautiful shot.
Early numbers on the 2 leads, Jane Arsenault and Sylvie Fortin.
And that was Jane's wonderful tap back. Those aren't easy. She raised that right to the button.
Right out of her hand, out of Fortin's hand, Blackburn, Gagnon with the brush.
Whoa!
Run it straight back. Very nice. And out the side, too.
Not in this frost.
But that's a great shot because they don't mind. They've got last rock. They don't mind it way over there. They didn't like it on the button behind that guard.
Want to come this
Terrific
way?
shot.
I think we better. Yeah, let's try it.
The seconds, Alison Franey and Julie Blackburn.
Line's
These
tight,
numbers
guys.
on the Quebec players, the first 2 we've seen a little lower than their averages coming in, Linda.
Yeah, their averages were in the 60% range. 66 for Sylvie and 65 for Julie.
Gotta be here. Yep. Come on, Judy. Finish it. Hard. Right up, all the way down. Hard. Oh, that's a pistol, Allison. Good job.
Allison is Alison Franey. Puts it top 4.
Making a play on the guard. Who unfortunately they tried the run back and it's going to stay out in front. The shooter.
In fact, it's even more covered now, isn't it? It's absolutely socked in there.
She must have been able to see a little bit of that, didn't they?
Well, you'll get a little movement.
She's quick. Out turn, I think, before they got the little roll over there. Could have maybe played the out turn, hit on it just to quiet. If you hit the front one fine and move it off.
2. Tight 2. Line's good.
Now you're in trouble.
And it's been trouble really to every end for Quebec.
Yep, line. 3. Hard. Right around. Hard. Right up to it. Right up.
Oh, super brushing again. And
good
2 terrific stones by Alison Franey.
Oh, I'll say.
She was one of those players coming in with a lower draw percentage than hit, but there were 2 perfect draws.
Lâchons. On prend des rouges, on passe. Au pire, on enlèvera le garde. Ça passe. Tu peux essayer par les roues. L'autre bord. Comme ça. Par elle? Oui.
See enough of it to hit it or go after the guard?
I think you should run the front one off, Linda. Run it right back again if you can.
Is that what they're trying here? Or are they?
No, they're trying to go after it.
They see a corner, do they?
But it's curling, so plan B, maybe let it curl a bit more.
That's what you should have played.
So plan B gets it to them, and they hang one of their stones on the edge of the 12. Just a reminder, coming up today at 5:30 p.m. Eastern Time, Warren Miller's ski lift. Steeper and deeper on TSN.
Don't forget to use us, honey.
Isn't that something? That's a neat little thing from Jane Arsenault. Don't forget to use us. So she's talking to June Campbell.
Yep.
Use the brushers. And we've seen, right, but that's the most difficult thing I said to Linda today is, even today we saw almost throwers wanting to do it by themselves and put them in the perfect position instead of using it. And the ice is conducive for brushing, isn't it?
Yeah, it certainly is. And the best example is the one I talked about earlier when Anne Merkler had to draw to the 8-foot, win her game yesterday. She threw it right to the brushers. They jumped on it, they carried it all the way. And that's what the experienced teams will do. Sandra will do the same thing. She'll give it to Joni and Marcy and say, okay, here it is. Way you go. And that's the part of the pressure of playing on the front end. You know that that responsibility is yours. Theoretically, the brushers can decide where to put the stone. If they think it's light, they'll let it die. If they think it's heavy, they can take it through. So
Maybe a little bonus over here.
Yeah.
Now the one on the right came off the board, so they'll have to put the one back that was a biter.
They did, and the umpire is heading out quickly. So we'll watch to see whether this stone goes back into the right place. Now you'll see the one come off the cushion here and catch this one on the edge. Now remember where it was as they put it back. And boy, they've probably pretty close to that spot. Now, there you go. That's what the umpire uses to chart the stones.
And they leave the positioning of the stones until the rocks are finished, and if there is a question, they still have it marked in case they need to go refer to it.
Do you want a time?
Now this is interesting. The two New Brunswick stones are first and second shot, but they have the kickers Quebec on the sides.
a couple of Tysons out there. Biters.
I was thinking boxers. I was having trouble with that
Couple
one.
of Tysons.
If you want you to take one, you don't want to hit that one, eh? Yeah, like if we're not going to throw the guard, we might as well eliminate something. Okay. Do you want her to take one?
I just don't want her to take 3.
That's never a good plan. I agree with you, Cathy. And they were talking about drawing a third one in, but what Jane was saying is, well, if you're going to leave them open and not play the guard, you're going to get just a third one in the house. You might as well eliminate yellow as you go.
June Campbell. Now, you do want this one around at all? Where do you want her stone, this stone, to be hanging around, or do you mind if it's
sure? They want it in his third shot.
Okay.
Get over.
Curl!
All right.
Just a touch too much ice for that shot. That's all. A little less ice.
She's the one that's had all the pressure on the opponent so far. Natalie, the Quebec third, will try and make the double.
Good shot just the same.
Natalie Gagnon nearly makes the double.
She's made some nice hits in this game.
Okay. You guys like this turn?
Yes. Just control the
Yeah.
calf.
Maybe even a little less.
If you want to tighten it, you can throw.
Well, considering the
Yeah,
mistakes.
we like to turn, and she's right, a little less ice. Because I think June Campbell threw hers pretty well. And,
I think
you know,
so,
it
too.
just, you know, she came out nice and straight and didn't play with it. Just had too much ice. And you got the whole house to roll across here. Get rid of the stone.
Weight's nice.
Remember, Quebec does have hammer here in the fourth.
Harder.
But that is the safer of the two turns, for sure.
That's good, Cathy.
She would like to have rolled a little further over, but
That's not bad.
And we saw Cathy's numbers at 63%, and she did have that open miss as far as the takeout on the open miss of a draw to get
A little bigger
2
roll
extra
than that.
points. That one was a nice shot.
Who's hanging? Ça? Où qu'il faut pogner? Juste un peu là. Un petit peu moins de pinfond. S'il te plaît. OK. On va mettre ici. Il n'y en a pas beaucoup. OK. Ah.
double's definitely there. Come down, hitting this one here, just off the center, driving it back, and as you go by this one here, catching that, and you can live the two.
No.
Fortin, Blackburn back off. And she'll drive it by.
So close. Had to curl a little bit more.
Pourquoi t'as crié oui? Voyons. Allez. Pourquoi t'as crié oui?
June having a look at all the angles.
Yeah. I think control's fine.
It's important that they stay for second shot, of course.
What did I just throw?
Control. Control. Whoa, 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 whoa. It's got to get up the line.
Final
then.
stone for
Whoa,
Brunswick,
whoa, whoa,
Cathy
whoa.
Floyd.
Whoa, yep.
Well, not at all.
So we'll see what control weight is for Cathy.
Whoa.
That's what most people call
Your
about
way,
their normal
Allison.
hit.
Atta
Nice
girl,
shot.
pistol.
And to roll
Good
over and
shot.
cover her stone, sitting top four.
So we do talk about the different takeout weights, and that was about what we call normal takeout, 9.5 seconds. Usually hack 11.5 between the hog lines, draw at 14 seconds, and guard 15.5. And remember, we talked about it before, you can drag these rocks, so if you throw it to the sweepers, even a 16-second guard hog to hog will be dragged over. You just can't overthrow them.
Ah, je vais déplacer un petit peu.
Doubles there as well. Got to hit this on the nose, drive it straight back, catching that one.
No.
For two here in four in the lead. Again, the Brushers haven't laid a lick to it. Going to get it, jam it. Now Wildfire will it roll.
And she jammed it, I think of it.
And it will stay on the edge of the 8. One red. And some frustration showing on the young skip from Alma, Quebec. She gives up the steal of 1 here in 4. It's 3-1. New Brunswick ahead of Quebec here in Regina.
Aurait dû faire l'autre bord.
And now, another TSN Sports Break.
Hi, everybody. Welcome back to the TSN Newsroom. The Toronto Maple Leafs have signed team captain Matt Sundin to a 3-year contract extension, making him a very rich man.
I'm very, very excited about add in these years now to my contract and have a chance to play hopefully the rest of my career in Toronto.
I think it's a great message to everybody that the organization is going to grow, it's going to get better. We wish we could get better tomorrow or today even, but it's difficult to get better. You have to go step at a time, and I think this is a very important step in the progress of our team.
In other hockey news today, a local Edmonton group has requested a $10 million U.S. loan from City Council in Edmonton in return for 22% ownership in the NHL team. And the Detroit Red Wings defenseman Nicholas Lidstrom says he may return to Sweden after next season. We'll get you back to curling in Regina after this.
Winning depends on how far you dare to go. Victory requires talent, skill, and the determination to push to the limit. Living on the Edge is brought to you by Edge Shave Gel, because to win, you need the edge. 3,000 meters high, 130 skydivers, and the world's biggest helicopter. A formula for pure excitement. Falling free for over a minute at 17 feet per second. It's a magic carpet ride, a dream come true. Ride the rush of the wind. Glide towards the earth below. Living on the Edge has been brought to you by Edge Shave Gel. Ultimate closeness, ultimate comfort, with 6 lubricants to help save your skin. That's the Edge.
Introducing 8 hours of fever relief. New Children's Advil.
A tough cold isn't just up here. Your sinuses are congested too. That's why there's Advil Cold and Sinus for congestion. It's tough on colds like Advil is on pain. And now it's available without a prescription.
Advil Cold and Sinus, today's relief for tough colds.
Live update for you. Manitoba against Alberta. You see the red stone sitting top 4. Just thrown there.
It was a lovely shot by Lois Fowler, the skip for Manitoba. Hit a stone on the left side, top 8, and rolled into shot position. Cathy has to get rid of it.
So Cathy Borst, final stone for the skip from the Otwell in Edmonton, trying to find the hole. Has got it. Tap it back for 2. Now where will it stay? Will it stop in time? Heather Gottfredson saying stop, and now they'll look and check those stone around the edge of the 8.
Come on, call it, Vic. Give it a call. Give it a call. Oh. Come on.
It's a 1. Reds.
Okay. All right, I don't want you to delay it.
1.
Good call.
Oh, you're all over me. Tie 2-2, Manitoba, Alberta. Great shot by Lois Fowler to get her in position. Yukon Northwest Territories against Newfoundland as they play the 3rd. 2-0. Kelly Kalo from Yellowknife leading. Heather Strong, and the final stone for this young skip from the St. John's Curling Club. It's a quiet tap back or draw for 2. Got to get to the 4, and she'll come up light. Oh, they just... Now, whether it got in that frost and just dug in and stopped, I don't know, but they didn't do a lot of brushing on it, so they must have thought the sliding was okay.
Yeah, they just, you caught that darker colored paint, frost, and quit.
As we return to our featured game, and Quebec giving up the steal of 1 in the 4th, 3-1, New Brunswick ahead, and Quebec maintains control of the hammer.
No frost, Allison.
Well, the young skip from Lac Saint Jean, from the Alma district, just showing a little bit of inexperience. She's down 2. She's got the hammer. She's hitting a rock on the edge of the 12-foot. You got to either draw up to it, freeze to it, or you got to play up the corner guard, throw the corner guard up into the free guard zone area. So that's something hopefully she'll learn, and she'll only learn it by traveling and playing against the top teams, Linda, and getting out of Quebec a little bit and going out and playing against the top teams and getting to the nationals like this and being faced, going up to face with the Ann Merklingers and Cathy Borst and obviously Sandra Schmurners and so on and so forth. You have to learn by those things.
There's nothing like experience.
No.
You can play in your club and a certain game plan may work, but until you get here and see the game plans of all these top teams, you really can't build your own arsenal as well. She will see this and learn from that. Now, remember the last takeout they played. Now, we're saying maybe they shouldn't be playing takeouts, but it missed. We've come up with something called an unforced error because there aren't nearly enough statistics for me in this game. So if you miss an open takeout, it's got no guard in front of it, or you have an open draw to the house, or if you really need that stone in front of the house in the free guard zone and it slides in, we call it an unforced error. Here's the top 4 teams as far as the most unforced errors so far this week, and the most is Quebec, and they're sitting at the 3-3 record, but you can see you cannot miss those open shots, those critical draws and guards and open hits. You can't miss them. It's really going to cost you, and it's definitely showing up in the numbers.
That's a good stat, Lou. That's good. When did you dream up that one? That was great. That's very good, as a matter of fact.
Overnight, I guess, was it?
Now, by comparison, if you go the other end, what are the top players? Without putting too much pressure on you quickly here.
No, good point. Let me see. The very top team is Alberta, and they have 13 total unforced errors. So we're talking half or less than half of the teams that we just saw. And it's something that actually Brian Cassidy, I really want to thank him. We're trying it here, and we're going to try it at the Briar. And if it becomes an interesting statistic and has some meaning to it, it will be incorporated into the program.
I think it's a great stat.
No, it is. Director Joels points out it's very much tennis, and if you look at many losers, it all comes down to unforced errors in tennis.
And you notice, I mean, it tells a great story because you've got the top teams on the top and the bottom. The same thing with your plus minuses. I like those too, Linda. Is that they really tell a story if you on the plus minus situation, which we'll talk about a little later.
The reason I like it is the team got a 0 for the missed takeout, for example, in this end. But you also get a 0 if you have to hit the very center of the button on a draw. Much more difficult shots. So this way we can have a look with a very easy statistic. If you miss a wide open shot, it goes up as a 1 in the unforced errors column.
Natalie Gagnon in the 5th. And it's 3-1 New Brunswick. Quebec, though, I think fair to say, needs to get something going. They may have been a little rattled, a little shell-shocked after this morning's game against Team Canada, after coming in, playing very well and surprising a lot of people, and now maybe, as I say, getting a little rattled.
A little tough too here. They're playing on television, and the cameras are rolling, and lots of pressure coming off the loss for them. At the moment, New Brunswick is quite happy. They don't mind playing this up and down game at all.
Good job, Allison.
Lots of support on hand for this Carlos team. On the left is Maude Martel, who happens to be their 5th player, and Natalie Gagnon's mom, Giselle Langevin, who is Julie Blackburn's mom, the 2nd, of course. Nicole Carlos is the mom and coach of the team, and Vislain Tiviu is Sylvie Fortin's husband. So we welcome them all from Alma, Quebec to Regina and the Scott Tournament of Hearts.
Okay, Nathalie.
Yeah, the perspective is really different though. Like there's a whole lot more distance than there really is.
The open side. Nothing deeper than T-line.
Don't forget to use a sweet pea. Okay?
Yeah.
Well, Cathy, as you mentioned, Linda's very satisfied just to play up and down the sheet like this, and
2, 3. All the way up.
Marie-Claude is going to have to force the issue, play some guards, get some offensive stones in position,
We're there.
try and generate some points.
June Campbell out 14 and a half, or 14.3.
And you can still drag it to the house. So you've got to throw it to the sweepers. And the ice has not changed.
Nope.
It is still about 14 seconds to get it to the tee line. And unless you go really wide into the frost, the players can get it there.
Actually, no, we have said it a few times, but it's worth saying again that Lloyd Stanzo and Dave Merklinger have done a fabulous job in keeping control of this ice, because this is a tough building, a beautiful building, but it doesn't have the air conditioner system. It doesn't have the air exchange capabilities, so it's been a real task and a tough job. And the big point, Linda, is it hasn't changed. You know what you're going to get when you step out there. It's been pretty consistent all week. Huge crowds, and there must be 5,500 or 6,000 people here this afternoon. So it's
and the weather outside has remained consistent. They've come to grips with the warmer weather. Dehumidifiers inside. There's about a half a dozen of them right along the boards. But the weather is slated to change. Snow is in the forecast. Light snow for tomorrow, and then slight decrease in temperature to around -1, -2 for the rest of the work week. Just failing to make things happen, isn't she?
Well, Ray mentioned she's not forcing the issue either. Both of those stones were deep enough early in the end to draw to. If she didn't want to play the guards, if she doesn't want to take the chances in front of the house, there were opportunities in the house as well.
We'll try to get a little further out that way. Do you think?
And you think back to this game, Cathy, Floyd has given her, given her 2 points too.
Yeah,
so it's really
would you rather put it on the
got a
button?
chance to be alive, but you have to.
She hasn't thrown a draw.
The level of women's play in our country is fantastic, and you have to beat the good teams. You really have to, force the issues and know how to play. We had a wonderful game last night with Team Canada and Anne Murphy. Sensational fourth end. Great shot by Jan Becker. Great shot by a wonderful double by Anne Murphy. She actually made 2 doubles back to back when she was in big trouble. And so that's the kind of thing that you're going to see from the top level teams.
June Campbell out to join Allison Franey and Jane Arsenault.
You're there.
Arsenault making the point
good job
before Cathy Floyd threw that she hasn't thrown. Speaking of Marie-Claude, that she hadn't thrown a draw yet.
Now she's going to throw one now.
She thought I was short.
They do use stopwatches, and that is the benefit if you've played a game where you haven't had the opportunity to throw a draw yourself. You can time the opponent's draws and get a feel for the ice that way.
What's that favorite song of yours, Vic? The weather outside is delightful.
Yeah, it is, boy.
It is, boy. Playing a little havoc with the ice makers, but it sure is great out.
Yep. Final stone drawing against 2, Quebec, and Marie-Claude Carlos.
So she should be at about 14 to make this shot.
And that would mean she's heavy.
Unless it catches the paint, the heavier frosted area.
Starts to dig in. You see June Campbell is there right away. Oh boy, and that little bit of a rub saved her and gave her 1. Quebec picks up the single here in 5. Yeah, 5th end break. You know, it's so nice outside. Lots of people have got that ice cream idea. Here in the Agridome and the Scott Tournament of Hearts in beautiful Regina.
When AT&T Canada started this Dime Time thing, I said to myself, Dime Boy, you gotta be a part of this. Call anyone in Canada, any evening, any weekend, for a dime or less. Who needs the phone? Dime Time someone you love, okay? I'm no hero. I'm just trying to get Canada talking. One dime at a time.
New Dime Time, only from AT&T Canada.
You know the kind of things that can give you a delightful thrill. So do we. The new restyled 1998 Mercury Mystique. Imagine yourself in a Mercury.
Yes, it's boredom twitch syndrome. You're lucky. There's a new treatment.
Got boredom twitch syndrome? Get relief with Star Choice Digital Satellite Television. Over 90 channels of sports, movies, and entertainment, all with cinema quality picture and CD quality sound.
Hey! It's the Ottawa game! Thank you.
For a retailer in your community, call now. Finally, the choice is yours. Star Choice.
Any experienced driver will tell you, to know where you're going, you have to know where you've come from. Get a trackside perspective with a Formula One preview. TSN Motorsports takes you inside the 1998 edition of the world's fastest circus. The Formula One preview. See it and live it March 3rd on TSN.
The 1998 Scott Tournament of Hearts from Regina, Saskatchewan on TSN. Cottonelle bathroom tissue.
The Heart Stop Lounge is where it's all happening.
Now, we're going right now.
Get your 50-50 tickets. You know the jackpots have been over $1,000 at night when they've been selling the 50-50 tickets. It's really been
$2,200 the other night.
Was it really that? Oh wow! Great souvenirs available. The Heart Stop Lounge, part of every Scott Tournament of Hearts. Reminder: stay with us right after the game for the TSN Turning Point. Brought to you by Super 8 Motels.
We deliver great quality, time after time.
Same with Super 8.
Every room is comfortable. And roomy.
Super 8.
Super 8. Life's great at Super 8.
Welcome back. We're in the fifth end break of our featured game, Quebec and New Brunswick. And it's 3-2, New Brunswick leading as we take a look at the numbers after 5, Linda.
Well, as we said, the score could be even more lopsided. Cathy Floyd with a couple of opportunities for deuces and didn't get them. She did get the steal, and the number, look at hit percentage. We said Quebec maybe shouldn't be playing as many hits. That's one issue, but they have been low on that percentage as well, and that's brought their overall percentage down.
So our game continues in the fifth end break as we update you on all the scores. Some of the games have reached the midway point. Team Canada with the hammer playing 6 after a blank in 5. That's our featured game. Yukon Northwest Territories continue to play the fifth. Team from Yellowknife leading 3-1. And it's Manitoba, Alberta in a 2-2 tie playing the fifth, and the team from Manitoba does have the hammer. When we come back, we're ready for the sixth end of our featured game.
It was about the time that gold was discovered on Bonanza Creek that the Canadian Bank of Commerce set out on one of the great human adventures in Canada's history, the epic trek to the Klondike.
Is it terrible out there? I can't imagine.
They'd been asked to open the first official bank.
In your letter, when you described the trip over the mountain,
Sure, there was plenty of gold, all right, and plenty of ways to spend it, too. But the men knew they could trust the Canadian Bank of Commerce.
As far as the new bank is concerned, I'm extremely well satisfied with the efforts.
You see, the bank was there on behalf of the Dominion government, and they could see beyond the glitter to a larger dream, a dream called Canada.
you're awaiting life and
Your loving and devoted husband, Wilfred.
When you never forget where you came from, you can see more clearly where you're going.
As in the past, CIBC will continue to play a pioneering role by investing in Canada's vision of the future.
Hi, CIBC. How may I help you?
Canadian Imperial Bank of Commerce, seeing beyond.
Another Nokia discovery. Small words are hard to read, which is why at Nokia we make our screens big, so they're easier to read. Inspired technology with a human touch. Nokia, connecting people.
Purex has gone to great lengths to give you a longer-lasting bathroom tissue. Purex Double Roll. With twice as many pillowy soft sheets on every roll, it takes forever to run out. Purex Double Roll. Pillowy softness that lasts twice as long.
Any experienced driver will tell you to know where you're going, you have to know where you've come from. Get a trackside perspective with a Formula One preview. TSN Motorsports takes you inside the 1998 edition of the world's fastest circus. The Formula One preview. See it and live it. March 3rd on TSN.
Well, we can even pick up some craft work here at the Scott Tournament of Hearts.
Hi, welcome to the general store featuring arts and crafts of artists from around Saskatchewan.
Hi, everybody.
You can pick up some crafts here. Now, the handiwork is great. It's really, you know, it's terrific because they actually have little themes. And one of the first times we saw that was a few years ago at the Ford Worlds in Brandon when they had all the different theme areas. Do you remember at the Keystone Center?
Yeah, it was fantastic.
Great job done there, and you see that now more and more, and it's nice. As we continue on with our featured game, 3-2, New Brunswick leading here in the 6th, and the team from the Thistle St. Andrews in St. John
I tried to take
does
some
have the
off.
hammer.
Where are we? Back? Can you make it T-line? Yep. Yeah. T-line or back? T-line. Whoa, whoa, it's got lots. It's back, Cathy. T-line or back? It's back. Sorry, Cathy. Okay, Jane. Okay, Jane.
Now the guard's up.
Now let's begin at the game between Manitoba, Alberta, final stone of the 5th, and this is the final stone for Manitoba's Lois Fowler.
Trying to come off a side one into the pack. You see the yellows in the forefoot.
And she won't get anything. It'll just drift on by, and that yellow stone, as Heather Godfredson has a look, Betty Cooling comes over, they look at the pin, and it appears to be certainly one yellow. They might measure to see if it's two. And as we
it could be
close in, it could be two yellow, two for Alberta, and Cathy Borst, who's the tournament leader right now at 4-1. We'll update you on that after they sort it all out.
Big game for Manitoba, big day for Manitoba. It's a chance for Lois Fowler to get herself back in the contention with the win over Alberta if she could win that, and then she goes on the ice, I think, tonight against Ann Merklinger. So it's a do or die day for Manitoba.
Can you wait for it?
And a chance for Cathy Borst to really establish herself at the top. She started out maybe a little slowly as far as the way they were playing, but now they seem to be playing very well.
Right up. I want to keep the line. Hard, hard. Hard, hard. Right up, right up, right up.
Now here's the difference with what we were talking about. There is a guard up, and there was a Quebec stone in the house, but Cathy decided to play to it. She decided to take a couple of chances, even though she has the 1-point lead, but she has the hammer.
The other thing, too, is that Quebec decided to hit with the one previous to that, where she could have gone around the guard that she put up just to really force the end. I know you don't have the hammer, but you threw the guard up in the center line, and you have to make a decision to go and get it. Now, she's only down the 1 point, so obviously she's thinking there's no reason to be really panicking. Good pick.
By Julie Blackburn.
Yeah, it's just hanging on at the back. Sure.
Two-time former New Brunswick junior champion Allison Franey.
3. Line only. Yep. Needs it. Needs it.
Leave it short, I think. It's wide open, guys. Wide open. Short's good.
Now, we watched this sheet earlier, and it may be easier to come around that center line guard from the other side. We did see, at least as the game progressed earlier today, more motion on the other turn.
Ok, c'est beau, Julie.
And just to update everyone, Alberta
I don't think
did
that's
get
going to
2
vary.
and now leads 4-2 over Manitoba as they go to the 5th end break.
Normal.
Yeah, they got something.
They'll take it. They're playing the hit and roll, but you take what you get.
I thought it was hitting too much of a chunk of it to get the thing up.
So they were trying to catch a larger piece of that first one and roll over in front of the other, but 2 will do.
Wait.
Oh, yes, it is.
Natalie Gagnon.
Whoa.
Get it, Daddy.
Did not.
What do you like?
I just sit on it. Yeah, that's good.
Where do you want to hit it?
I like the freeze. Let's just freeze.
New Brunswick has the hammer here in 6.
The freeze is good. Yeah. Yeah. Thank you. I think she misunderstood. Yeah. Don't forget to use this, Junie. She didn't hear. Okay. Okay, guys, just sit on it.
Playing the freeze after a fair amount of discussion.
Second appearance in the national championship for June Campbell, as we say, will be moving back to
Line's good.
Saskatchewan in the next couple of months.
Okay, your line's perfect. It's all in the way. Line's
We're up
good.
to it.
Line's good. Yep, keep the line,
Yes,
guys. Right back. Right
We're
back.
bumping a bit.
Right back.
Okay.
Right up, right up.
She's coming down.
Nice shot by June.
Good, Judy.
Good line call as well. It was starting to curl a tiny bit, so they swept it,
what I
got the little
figured.
tap, but left the 2 stones more, one in front of the other.
Like many curling teams, when they were asked about what they'd like to do, cards turned up on on everyone's sheet. We like to play cards.
Whoa. Get Natalie.
Very nice shot.
Did not.
As I say, she's made some wonderful takeouts.
That's good. Wait. Control. Whatever.
And you made the point
Normal's
earlier,
fine.
Linda, that you know, other than the game against Sandra Schmerler, when she got beat up badly, she's been in every game. She's hung in there, and she's won her 3 games. And
Whoa.
No, watch it.
this is a big game for her.
Whoa.
Weights up, Kath.
Whoa.
That's peel. That's peel weight, I know.
Now an excellent chance to get in behind the center guard that you put up there earlier. This was the first rock thrown up right there, and now here's your chance to utilize it. You got the rollout that you required, and you want to get around this. The key is not to break Linda's law, which is the tee line. Keep it in front of the tee line in this area right there.
That's a great chance for us to see this spot because she's giving herself about 3 feet of ice. As I mentioned, we thought in the game earlier today the better turn for movement was the other one. But as the day progresses, we see more movement across the sheet. So we'll see if this will give her a completely buried stone.
I think we said you have to change with the swing, and this is the chance. Middle of the 8-foot. She threw up the center guard. With the rollout by June Campbell, she now gets a chance to utilize the center guard. Weight looks pretty close. When you get the, got to get the movement though.
Okay.
She threw it there by herself. I think if she'd thrown it there with brushing, she may have got it to curl a little more, Linda.
I think so. It's really hard to tell with those.
Even if you're here or on it, it's good. It's almost like you're a couple inches ahead of it.
Yeah, actually right there.
Yeah.
So does it hook under her arm or under her armpit or like?
Yeah.
It's the top of the button. Huh? Top of the button.
I know everybody has a bit different positioning of their broom, and some people find it a little uncomfortable to have the top around that part of your arm. So she's come up with a change.
Appropriately, it's called Floyd's. Appliances.
What's the weight like? Line's good.
She's done a little bit of flip-flopping this end. We've talked about it in other games where she's gone from draw to hit, draw to hit. She's gone back to the draw in this particular situation.
Line's good. Whoa, 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 whoa. Don't touch it. I'm just cleaning.
Oh, perfect weight.
Not a bad chance, though, for the young Quebec skip just to touch that and roll over in behind the guard. Just come down now. Just quietly, just touch that back so slightly and sit right there. And if you do that, you're in good position to possibly steal a point. It's wide open. You could come down and bang it and get it out of there, but I think this is an opportunity, Linda, to come down just quietly, tap it over, roll over onto the hearts, in behind the long guard.
She looks like she's put the broom down for a fairly quiet weight. Not sure exactly what she's called.
It's a game of pressure. We say it all the time. Keep the pressure on your opposition. Sooner or later, you'll get the crack.
And really, it's been Quebec that's been under the pressure. And rather fortunate, as we say, to maybe be this close. New Brunswick failing to pick up a couple of extra points at this point.
Here's an opportunity, though, Vic, and you have to take advantage of them when they present themselves. They don't come all the time, but she's just got to touch it back.
We fall. Okay, up.
Lovely control weight. Lovely shot. Absolutely great shot. That's great shot making.
And a good call.
A tremendous call. That's a good sign. She recognized the fact that she had the opportunity. She could have very easily gone down, just hit that on the nose and try to get a roll, but she played it and utilized the stones that are there. Wonderful shot. And all of a sudden, Cathy Floyd's shot is very difficult. She's happy too, isn't she?
Mm-hmm.
C'est bien, c'est bon, c'est bon.
Just this kind of weight right here.
You've got to just draw down quietly. Got to get some movement. This is not an easy shot. Just touch that back.
That's not a lot more, Cathy, than you just threw. Taking less ice.
This is a tough little shot.
I guess that's why I was a little surprised she went back to the draw when the stone was in that position. As I say, with Cathy's first one, I thought she might play a little tap herself, because when you start to close down the rings on only your skip rocks, she didn't really need to take that chance and hadn't been taking those sorts of chances up to that point.
Line only, 4. Okay, close, so. Watch it, 4.
So we need about 14 seconds at the hog line for it to be the right weight.
No, it doesn't. No, it
Got to
doesn't.
tap something then.
No, don't touch it.
Catch it and sit in time.
Very
It
nice.
does. Very nice. So the pressure shot to keep the pressure on by Quebec and Marie-Claude Carlos, and answered nicely by New Brunswick and Cathy Floyd to pick up one here in the 6th. Floyd leading 4-2.
Good job, you guys. Yeah, nice shot. Good job. Good shot.
Most powerful tools for the only world that matters, yours.
Right here, right now, there is no other place I want to be.
You know what to do. Wild party last night, huh? So what happened to you? Last I heard, you were headed for some body piercing place. That stuff's too weird for me. Anyway, I'm sure you didn't do anything too stupid. Hey, you're the man, cool guy. See you at the beach.
For years, you've heard the debate.
Duracell. Energizer.
Which battery lasts longer?
Duracell. Energizer.
Duracell.
Energizer.
Duracell.
Energizer. Duracell. Duracell.
Recent tests proved that Duracell outlasts Energizer. Better make it the alkaline battery proven to last longer. Better make it Duracell.
Come on! I'm waiting. Where are you?
Let's get you caught up in some of the other games in this 10th draw. Yukon Northwest Territories, Newfoundland, as they play the 5th. And it's 3-1. Kelly Kalo from Yellowknife leading. Final stone for Heather Strong and her team from the St. John's Curling Club. Newfoundland at 1-4. Team from Yellowknife at 2-3, and she'll draw for her deuce. And a 3-3 tie as they go to the 5th end break. 6th end action, Team Canada leading Nova Scotia 3-2. Final stone for Sandra Schmerler and her team from the Cali Club here in Regina with a record of 4-2, playing Mary Matatall from the Mayflower in Halifax at 3-3. Lots of stones in place. In play, but a big hole to come through. Drawing for one, and she'll put it on the lid. 4-2, Canada leading Nova Scotia. 4-2 here as well. New Brunswick picks up the one, and so as we go to the 7th, Quebec has the hammer down by a pair.
So Both first stones, first one for New Brunswick out front center line, and then Quebec put up the corner. So we've got something going. Nice come around by New Brunswick. Quebec decides just to peel it off. Beautiful stone, that come around. That's one of those positions we talk about, just biting the forefoot, front of the tee line. Terrific shot.
Yeah, well, here. No, bite, tight.
Allison Franey.
2.
Playing the guard.
You're gonna lose your line, guys.
In turn.
It's gonna over curl. Whoa, let it sit. Let it sit. Okay. It's just not getting out to those a little bit. Yeah.
By that she means that she's just coming out inside the broom, sliding out inside of the broom and just releasing it inside the broom, and that's the action you get. Here's a chance now to hit this and get a little roll. Hit it quietly.
Yeah.
Wet. Whoa.
Julie Blackburn.
Good shot by Julie. That's a great shot.
And look at the roll.
Perfect. Well, she's come back strongly. A couple of open misses early. Yeah.
Nice little smile.
Yeah. Well, that's how you do it. Catch the corner. Use the corner that you put up earlier. Right behind the guard.
All right, just normal. Normal? Yep.
Cathy had a look and decided with the score the way it is, she didn't want to risk any come around attempts. She's going to peel off that corner guard.
Okay, honey. That's fine.
Now, there's a good chance for the Quebec team to pick up a deuce and get themselves back in this game. Just to forget about that stone and draw in behind the guard. Or freeze to the face. There's nothing wrong with that. Just going to play the hit on it. It's second shot rock. You should just draw down to the face. You can want to freeze to it. That's one thing. Fine. Or go around the guard.
And the key here now, if you're playing the hit.
Well, if you make the hit, great. It's great and stick. Terrific. But it's just not a percentage. If you ever happen to roll out, you let her out of the situation. She gets the hit.
Very nice. 2 perfect takeouts for Julie.
It's just not the percentage call. It wasn't the shot rock. You could use it by sitting in front of it, or you could ignore it and go around the guard.
Normal?
June Campbell, as we play third stones here in the 7th.
Close. Whoa. Close. Whoa. Are we on the nose? Roll it. A little bit. Okay, shot, June.
What you'd like is the hit on this one here and the roll right to there where she put her broom.
Yes. Yes. Okay, whoa. No.
Nice shot. Very nice shot.
I feel the momentum starting to go the other way now. New Brunswick really had control of the first half of the game. Quebec is starting to make some terrific shots.
Normal up. Up. Whoa. Yep. Watch it. Yeah. Whoa. Whoa. Take your way, Jane.
Yeah, she'll roll it.
Hey, Junie.
Just behind the tee line, 4 foot.
In that.
If she gets the roll in behind, then it'll make it pretty interesting. Even if you hit and roll to the outside, it's fine.
Still a great shot.
And you know, you force Cathy to play the second shot rock.
Natalie Gagnon.
Wait! Whoa! Wait! Wee! Okay. Get it, Daddy.
That's a good shot.
Stops back 12.
It's always nice. It's always a nice situation when you have last rock and the opposition is playing hitting second shot rock all the time.
And when second shot is behind first shot, they don't have a double. That's even better.
That's right.
I don't know if you just.
That's the Floyd clan.
Time
That's
out, please.
Mom Thelma, Dad Gordon.
I call the
Either
time.
that, Cathy, you can just put it back, but I don't know. That's a little.
Hi,
risky.
everybody. Back in Thistle St. Andrews.
What do you like? I like the draw. Yeah, even if we get on top of it, eh?
Exactly.
Yeah.
And if you can always hit this thing, right? But if we get in there, anywhere in top of that thing in front of it, not even shot, we might keep her to 1.
You like the draw?
I like the freeze.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What do you think for ice? The edge of the button?
This is what
or
they're
the edge of
talking
1
about.
foot, I mean?
Coming down, just sitting right in front of this one here.
Cat, why don't you could just move it a bit?
Eliminating this
Not
one.
too much.
No.
You got to be careful though when you come down.
Like
I'll just
about
put that
6
in again
inches.
for you when they
No,
clear.
don't even move it.
We
Just
don't.
sit right
I
here.
agree with Cathy
This is
because
fine. Anything to keep her to 1.
Yeah.
if you try to move it and you ever bounce into the open, then you're really in trouble. You'll give up 3.
Yeah. Yeah, that should be good.
She's going to come down, and she said clearly, I don't care about moving it. I want to sit right in front of it. I'm just going to put this in. If you had tried to move it and you happen to come down, hitting it, yes, pushing it back a bit, but flipping into the open, then you set up a chance of losing 3. If you can get on top of this, you can make it very difficult for the Quebec skip to get her deuce.
And that's the key. You have to start the end with a plan, and the plan is to only give the team 1 when they have last rock. Frozen on top, and it's likely that they're only going to get 1.
Sometimes it's that anxiety always to be shot rock that will cause you so many problems.
3.
Cathy Floyd. Skip
Watch
stones.
Room. Whoa. Room. Yeah. Room. Where's the weight? We got room, guys.
We're close, Allison.
Whoa, guys.
We're good.
Arsenal,
We're
you
good.
can hear
No, we're
her.
not bumping. We're right up on top.
Okay, whoa.
Right up on top.
That's a
Right up,
lovely
right up,
shot.
right up.
That's exactly what she called.
Terrific shot.
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Yes,
Mom and
sir.
Dad happy?
Yes. She made a wonderful one last end just to get her 1, and that's a terrific shot.
Cathy's made some real nice shots.
Updating on the game between Manitoba and Alberta. This is the final stone for Lois Fowler out of the Brandon Curling Club, trailing Cathy Borst 4-2. And it's Manitoba with a record of 2-3. And look at this, the angle raise, bump, and 2. Great shot by Lois Fowler against the current leaders, Alberta and Cathy Borst at 4-1.
Now, just to go over that for a moment, I know we're in a critical situation here, but Heather Godberson misswept Cathy Borst's final guard, and Heather's left the ice for a minute. I know she's really upset with herself. She's just cooling down for a moment because it was going to overlap another stone and there would be no tap-tap. And she misswept it. It came down and set up a possible shot, tough shot for Lois, but she's really upset with herself, and sometimes that just happens.
Well, as Karen Young could tell you in Winnipeg, Lois has a habit of making those very big shots like that, and she made a great shot. She was given the opportunity. I didn't see the miss sweep, Linda, but I, of course, was paying attention to our game.
Yes.
when you do call a shot wrong, you're mad at yourself.
Yeah, it's so frustrating. And they're a great team. That won't bother them a bit the next end. But just for that moment, you're just so upset with yourself.
She's got nothing there to get any more than 2.
Well, she can't get to the button.
Yeah.
And you don't want to give her an out for her second point. Short is good.
Short is very good.
This side of the center line?
This side,
Allison's
center.
side.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
You can use us.
Just putting it in this area here.
No.
Just to block the center line.
I don't want to set
block
up
this
anything.
button. Even short's fine. That first circle looked like one of my pieces of fudge.
You're just tracing over my outlines from this morning. My heart-shaped button circles.
Yep. Yep.
Cathy Floyd.
Get it
Her
over.
final stone, Quebec with the hammer.
Get it over.
Trailing 4-2.
You're over.
Okay.
You're over.
Okay.
Is that okay?
That's okay.
Good.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Takes the button away from me, I think.
Par là, comme ça. Tu fais pas par là. Ah ouais, tu fais par là. Tu peux m'en mettre de balai? Non. Quelque chose comme ça. Sans garder loin. Oui. Avance large.
It's a long guard, so she can get to the full 4 foot, I think, Linda.
I think so. I was trying to see if she could play the out turn through the hole, but it may be curling away from the button too much.
Yeah, you're thinking about going, whoops, Daisy, about going through this way, Linda?
Yeah.
You're talking about,
On n'a pas joué comme ça.
I think this guard is so long. I think if you just get by it, you can catch enough of the 4 foot to score your deuce.
Full 4 is what you'll need.
De l'autre côté, on ne sait pas comment qu'elle fait.
It's not an easy shot, but it's a possible shot.
Now again, this is where you have to decide if it's any different as far as weight goes out there. It's 14 seconds down the middle. It might be a tiny bit different out further.
She needs the movement now. It's
Yes, yes, yes.
Now quickly, look at Borst, Blackburn. Drag it far enough. Gagnon will try to help out too.
Well, you can't blame the sweepers because we saw the time. It seemed to be really going fine, and it really caught the frost.
Quebec gets their one. Cathy Floyd says, good job. We held them to the single. That's the plan. And now New Brunswick has the hammer back, going to 8. And there won't be much snow left if the weather continues like this. It's a beautiful day for a walk in Regina.
And now, another TSN Sports Break.
Greetings from the TSN Newsroom, everybody. Back to curling in just a minute. Detroit Red Wings defenseman Nicholas Lidstrom says that he might return to his native Sweden after next season. One of the top contenders for the Norris Trophy. Lidstrom says all of his family's in Sweden, and his oldest son will soon start school, which Lidstrom and his wife prefer he attends in Sweden. But it is still up in the air. The 27-year-old could be gone when his contract expires after the 1998-99 season. Other Detroit news, an arbitrator will decide tomorrow on Sergei's situation with the Red Wings and the Carolina Hurricanes. A conference call is expected to take place around 5 o'clock tomorrow afternoon. Matt Sundin has signed a 3-year, $20.5 million contract extension with the Toronto Maple Leafs. That'll see him remain in Toronto through the 2001 season. We'll have another update in about an hour from now. Take a break, get you back to curling after this.
I first started on a rink just like this.
Elvis Stoico knows what it takes to be a champion.
It takes hard work to deliver a top performance.
Like McCain Frozen Punch delivers the real fruit taste of real fruit juice for champions like Elvis Stoico. McCain Frozen Punch in a choice of thirst-quenching flavors like grape, orange, and fruit punch. So get the jump-on taste, the year-round taste of real fruit juice in McCain Frozen Punch.
McCain, now that's top taste performance.
Honey, do you need any help?
Mommy, I'm a big girl now.
You can feel the cottony softness.
Cottony soft.
Cottonelle.
gentle, hypoallergenic.
What's going on in there?
Just bathroom stuff, Mom.
Cottonelle. Feel the cottony softness.
Continuing with our updates, Team Canada against Nova Scotia, and the final stone for Marie-Claude from Halifax with a record of 3-3, playing the defending Canadian world champions. And this is a draw for two. You see one T-line, edge of the 8-foot, trailing 4-2, and a chance to tie right here. Good draw as she'll put it on the button. 4-2 in a tie game with Sandra Schmerler here at the Scott Tournament of Hearts in Regina, Saskatchewan. New Brunswick holds Quebec to 1. They have the hammer back. Updating you on the other scores here in draw 10.
Well, it's a big day for everybody. You can see that with the closest of all the games, as you already mentioned. The Team Canada Nova Scotia game is tied 4-4, and our game is 4-3 in favor of New Brunswick. And you've got territories and Newfoundland at 3-3, and Manitoba, Alberta tied 4-4. So it really, you can tell it's getting tight. Everybody knows how important this day is and what these games mean.
You see the numbers come up as well. All the players are more used to the ice. The skips are reading it a little better because they've picked up the patterns that we've seen, as we say, as the game progresses. You get more swing to the ice. So everybody's bringing the level up, and everybody knows, as you say, must-win time.
Time to focus when the crowd explodes, or some of the other games here at the Agridome.
Whoa!
Julie Blackburn.
Hey! Okay.
A little bit of a brushing error there, I think, Linda. There's no reason for them not to be on that.
Well, for some reason, they didn't think it was going to move as much.
Well, I tell you, if you go to the open, they'll get the hit and roll off of you anyway.
Now, with this one, I would be tempted to try the other turn, but they have played this one most of the game. Hesitate to draw to the same side of the guard as your other stone in the house, that's all.
Tight, says Allison Franey.
That's good, Allison.
When you get tight matches like this, it's really hard not to focus on the one game. Your eyes are all over the place. And there's been some great shot making around.
Yeah, the people who are playing on the ice do that too, and that's the difficult thing, not to peek over.
The hit, but no roll.
Thank you, the NHL. You know you're so cool. The NHL tonight, the Rangers and the Leafs coming up Thursday at 7:30 Eastern Time as the NHL gets back into action.
Control. Yep. Go hard, Jimmy. Hard. Whoa. Whoa. The weight's
shoot.
That's all right.
Hey.
She had nice waves.
Yeah.
Hey, I thought Blackburn made some terrific shots.
Yeah, she had a couple of early misses and a couple of rollouts, and that will keep the numbers pretty low. You have to work hard to get them back up. We say timing is sometimes the most important thing, and if you come on strong in the second half and the score is still very tight as it is, those other numbers can be thrown out the window.
For sure.
Go, Natalie.
Okay.
Are we going to hit and roll off of that top one or just leave it?
You guys like that?
No, I don't.
Would you ignore it?
Do we hit and roll, Kath? You can play the hit and roll.
Yeah.
Control.
You can certainly make the hit and roll. She doesn't like it because they're not your opposition stones. If you're going to get right on the offense, you would just go around the guard. Those are 12-foot shots.
As I said, you know, I keep harping on it, but we haven't seen them play that other turn, and it did really move. And if she doesn't want to worry about leaving it hanging out with this turn, try going the other way.
This looks good.
The hit, roll, sit.
Just a little bit too far. Nice shot.
– 23-year-old Natalie Gagnon.
What? Yes! Yes!
Got it by? No.
There's lots of movement in that spot.
Oh, I can tell you. But now they've opened up that center, moved it off the center line. And both have brought their numbers up a little bit. June Campbell and Natalie Gagnon.
Line's tight. Yep,
Line's tight right out of her hand.
Whoa. Can we wait?
Yep.
It's going to be deep.
Yeah.
Yes.
Whoa.
Ooh.
It's deep, though.
Well, is deep through or is deep just deep?
Yeah, good point.
So what do? Do you let it tick or what?
We're talking about maybe letting it tick, but she needed the full information, Cathy, to know if it was going through. It did hang on for a second shot. Now remember, the guard is up there, so Marie-Claude can get a little hit and roll.
The hit and roll would be a saver here.
For Marie-Claude Carlos and the first stone for the Quebec skip here in 8. Didn't like it.
No. She knows she can't put them back in this spot.
Catch something on the way by.
Maybe the double.
Actually, that was a great call by Natalie. She had a look to see the angle, realized it was going to hang out like that. Good call.
It was a good call by Natalie. She looked, you're absolutely right. She looks, she throws it outside a little bit. So the roll is not a possibility with that kind of positioning of the stone on release. Natalie looked over, as Linda mentioned, and lined up the roll, called it properly, and gets the double.
My other law is never give up on a stone. If it's not going to make the shot you wanted, look at that plan B, and in this case, it worked out very well.
Can't you see the list of laws on the fridge at home? Al must not be able to make a move. Linda's got a rule for this, and Linda's got a rule for that.
Rules are important.
Control.
Whoa. Whoa.
Cathy Floyd.
Not at all. Have we got anything?
Not really.
No, you don't.
Okay.
That was control. Wait.
Yes, it was.
Yeah.
Just too much ice. Just took too much ice.
Is that wide?
Ça? Ouais. OK.
Well, we'll have a look at my favorite spot on the ice.
Started out promising for New Brunswick. Taken away by the double, and now the miss by Floyd.
I couldn't believe it didn't curl.
She played the inside out, did she not, on that?
She did.
Around this guard and right into this area right here.
And we know it'll come around the center line guard, so we'll see if this is too much ice to come around a guard that's off center. She put this one out a little bit.
So you want to leave this one short a bit. You can.
Whoa. Whoa.
No.
Okay. Okay.
Still got that way outside because she wasn't even close to the guard.
No, but I think it was a lot of
ice,
ice,
too,
yeah, because I think that would have been the right ice for coming around the center line guard, where it will finish nicely. But you have to get into that 4-foot area.
Just control, guys, I think, eh? That should stay right there.
It's not going too far.
No.
Just nice control. Straight up.
It's a battle. They've really come on a lot stronger in the second half.
They trailed at one point 3-1. It could have very easily been 5-1.
Control.
Managed to keep themselves in it.
Whoa, Jane
Brunswick
off.
misses, helping that certainly.
Weight's good.
4-3 as we play this final stone here in this eighth.
I wasn't allowed to clean a minute ago. Good shot.
And sit right there for the single point. Cathy Floyd and New Brunswick will take one here in the eighth.
No. It was going that way.
What, did we do that
a little bit?
Quebec will have the hammer when we come back to the Agridome in Regina.
When AT&T Canada started this Dime Time thing, I said to myself, Dime Boy, you gotta be a part of this. Call anyone in Canada, any evening, any weekend, for a dime or less. Who needs the phone? Dime Time someone you love, okay? I'm no hero. I'm just trying to get Canada talking. One dime at a time. New Dime Time, only from AT&T Canada.
The new 1998 Ford Taurus comes with many standard features. Dual airbags, power windows, air conditioning, and one thing that's always been standard, personality.
Next, another case of boredom twitch syndrome.
Nothing relieves boredom twitch syndrome like Star Choice Digital Satellite Television. Over 90 channels of movies, sports, and entertainment. All with cinema quality picture and CD quality sound.
Honey, our favorite movie! Oh, thank you.
For a retailer in your community, call now. Finally, the choice is yours. Star Choice.
Thursday, the NHL's best are back on TSN.
Catch an original 6 matchup between the Leafs and the Rangers. And best of all, there's no time change. Molson NHL tonight. Check it out on TSN. Carve up the powder. Warren Miller's Ski Lift. TSN Sunday.
Updating the game between Manitoba and Alberta. We saw Manitoba score 2 in the 6th. We're playing the 7th now. Final stone for Cathy Borst and her team from the Otwell in Edmonton. And is that enough to score 2? It is, and it's now a 6-4 lead for Borst, who's trying to improve her record to 5-1. Canada, Nova Scotia in a 4-4 tie as they play the 8th. Sandra Schmerler from the Cali here in Regina playing Mary Manitoba from Halifax. Schmerler looking to go to 5-2. As one biting the button, draws in for her second, and it's a 6-4 lead for the defending champion.
Just further comment on both those games, Lois Fowler got caught by little Jack Frost, and they didn't brush the in-turn draw there. She was coming around the guard, and they left it, and it caught the top 12 for the darker circle and dug in and came short, allowing Cathy Borst that hit for 2. In the other game, Mary Manitoba had a wide-open takeout on a rock sitting in the forefoot, and she chipped on a guard, allowing Sandra Schmerler to draw for 2. You've got to make those shots if you're going to beat those teams.
The Quebec lead, Sylvie Fortin.
And Quebec has had a miss by New Brunswick, so a chance for Sylvie to put a second stone in the house.
This way?
4 good games right across the ice today.
Yes.
Normal.
Allison Franey.
Hard. Real hard. Harder, guys. Harder.
Campbell, Arsenault.
Okay.
Allison got that started, and by that we just mean kind of rolled it off the fingers. Linda yelled right away, you could see.
Yep, you slide at the target line, but you end up putting it inside the target line, and when it does that, the curl happens very quickly, and the sweepers have to hold it.
Okay, je dis là. À 3.
Pas de tout.
No handle on this one.
None at all. You can see the front end talking to it. Slow up, please slow up. Dig in, catch something, hit something. Stop. Arrête.
Arrête? Nothing, thanks. From Patrick Higdon, this Ford email, North Vancouver. What does the word hearts stand for in the title, Scott Tournament of Hearts?
Well, the original heart idea came from the fact that the heart is symbolic of a provincial championship, the purple heart for men and for women red. And Scott Paper took that idea and put the 4 hearts together for the logo, meaning the 4 players on the team building in unison towards a common goal. And they took that into the jewelry, the heart necklaces for winning the provincial event, and the rings for winning the national event. And we talk about Scott Paper, that's a wonderful company. They've done so much for this event. They've brought women's curling to a higher level, and I was able to play in it. It was wonderful as a player. It's wonderful for us. They do a terrific job, and we are treated royally at this event. So our little chance to put in a little thank you for Scott Paper, the host committee, and all of those involved in this event.
And all of you can thank them when you go to your local grocery store and buy their products. And that's the key. And they give us their heart year after year after year.
And it's now an all-Canadian company.
Absolutely.
Bought by Kruger Paper not too long ago, so
You're
it's
not
all
sure,
Canadian.
yeah, you're not sure of the products. There they are in the back or in the circles, and that's all you'll find in my house.
So the 4 hearts you see represent the 4 players.
Good question. Because we knew the answer.
Yeah, we like those.
Yeah.
Normal?
Yep.
June Campbell.
Yep. Hard. 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 Hard.
Shot. Good sweeping, guys.
Well, up and down here, and if it stays this way, leading to a blank, Quebec will have the hammer coming home and down by 2. Natalie Gagnon. She's played well. She's made some terrific calls, line calls. This Quebec team beating a former Quebec provincial champion in Chantal Osborne to get here. While Cathy Floyd beat her former teammate Heidi Hamlin.
Viens, Nathalie. Bon, le boss.
Control!
Yep. Hard! Hooray! Yep, yep. Hard, guys!
All the way,
Curling.
guys.
Hard, hard, hard! All the way.
That's
Your
good.
way.
That's good. Watch the roll.
Your way, hun.
Right out,
Over,
right
all
out.
the way. Right over.
Right out.
All the way.
Yes, it is.
Okay. No, it isn't. Okay, June.
It's funny, you either love it or hate it when it comes to wrestling.
Yes, you
And
did.
the WWF. Vince McMahon, the president of the World Wrestling Federation, will be the guest of Michael Landsberg tonight and tomorrow on Off the Record. It is truly one of the great marketing stories
What?
of the last decade or so. So Vince McMahon is Michael Landsberg's
Thank
guest
you.
tonight on Off the Record.
Whoa.
Well, Marie-Claude has decided to try and make a play, and this is a nice looking draw by Natalie. It's dropped a little shorter. It would have been more difficult to remove. Very close.
I'm going to throw normal.
Kind of was an example, too, of what we talked about earlier, how it's really hard to get them to curl when you get to the 12-foot area. And they'll curl and they'll move from like the edge of the middle of the 4 to the 8. But when you go from the middle of the 8 to the 12, they just won't finish over there. And it's the frost effect.
Make this thing go away first. I like this ice, Cathy.
June thinks we're trying to spill them all, so.
I know, I think you'll sit right there.
I don't want to do that. Throwing normal.
Outside in.
Normal.
Does she have to play it this way because of her own stone being there?
She could play either turn, but she's a little worried because it's the edge of the frost line, and the inside-out turn may not be much more consistent than the other.
It's not doing anything. Okay. It's all right.
That's fine. That did what I thought it would do.
Stay right there.
Yeah.
There's a chance for the young Quebec skip to just touch that back, sit in front of it, try and get shot rock, and force Cathy Floyd to make a good hit. And if she doesn't, you get a jam and you get your deuce, and it becomes a very interesting 10th.
Very quickly played game.
Okay. The point of it.
Skip Stone's here now in 9.
Now, it will move to the edge of the 12. Now, whether or not it'll get over there. Here it comes now.
No.
Just all depends on her weight.
No.
I think it was just a little too much ice.
Yeah. Now you should maybe try and tuck it behind it a bit if you can.
Okay.
You did a little bit.
It's too bad because if she played the tap weight, she could have even tapped it and rolled over in front of the other. So she had lots of options on the other side, but not this side.
Just a little too much ice. Good call, though, Linda.
Excellent call.
Both
Very nice weight.
Yep.
Right? You can see almost all, Cathy.
Pardon?
You can see almost all of it.
Yeah, that's that straight spot, eh?
Yeah. Are we throwing control or normal? Normal's okay.
I think normal's okay.
I think you're fine with it.
Yeah.
Just throw it straight up, just like you can. Normal? Yeah. Whoa! Whoa! Yeah!
Cathy Floyd.
Whoa! Whoa!
Whoa! Right.
She said it was a straight spot. Going to catch something. A little bit. Oh, and just enough.
Okay, Kath. The weight, I think, was up a little.
Yeah, she threw it up. That's been running pretty true. One time she missed down. One time she missed down with that turn. She took too much ice.
I agree. I think that was almost peel weight.
Yeah, she really threw that. Is she just playing the straight draw? She's playing down to it.
Chaque fois qu'on essaie
Playing
de
the
forcer le
intern
jeu
draw, or
pour
is she
prendre
playing
I'm
the...
not sure. It's the same ice she just took.
In this situation, you should stay in the middle of 8 foot to 8 foot area, just to play the good, the solid ice and play the straight draw. You can play the intern draw, play the outturn draw too, but stay in the good ice.
So facing a couple. Final stone for Marie-Claude Carlos. Here in 9, she trails by 2.
If you're playing this, it still has to be a draw. It's not going to curl enough for the tap.
No, she's playing the tap back weight. That's just a draw to the 8 foot. That's just experience. She needs it to stop now.
Taking it back as far as they can, and it'll be a steal of 1.
Rouge? Oui.
6-3. As both teams have played giveaway here in this 10th draw.
Okay, but
Deep breath time. Floyd picks up one she didn't expect and has a 3-point lead.
There's no sense trying to pick it.
Because if I roll to center, that's just as bad.
Yeah. Just keep your weight normal. Don't bring it up. I didn't bring it up.
McCain brings you the freshest tasting frozen pizza ever made. McCain Pizza Premier in the unique vacuum-packed flavor lock package that seals air out so it stays fresher tasting longer. It cooks in just half the time and has a tender, no-mess rim. So whenever you're ready for pizza, McCain Pizza Premier is ready for you in fresh tasting deli lovers, pepperoni, and deluxe. McCain Pizza Premier. We've got a lock on fresh taste.
Another Nokia discovery. Small words are hard to read, which is why at Nokia we make our screens big, so they're easier to read. Inspired technology with a human touch. Nokia, connecting people.
Tools for the only world that matters. Yours.
Right here, right now. There is no other place I want to be.
Power plus pride and perfection equals playoff position.
Witness the March of Champions on TSN as our university athletes go for glory at the CIAU Finals. Both men and women fight for superiority in basketball, volleyball, and of course, hockey. So don't miss a heartbeat of the purest, most spirited series of sporting events this month. CIAU March of Champions on TSN.
Nearing the end of this 10th draw here in Regina, updating scores for you. Manitoba against Alberta as they play in the 8th. Final stone for Lois Fowler. 2 and 3 coming in against Alberta's Cathy Borst. 4 and 1 makes the hit and will pick up 1. Back edge of the 4. Trails 6-5 and Borst has the hammer back. Canada, Nova Scotia on the opposite side of the Agridome on sheet A. Chance for 2 here and a tie game for Manitoba out of the Mayflower and Halifax. That's how you do it. And so they're all even 6-6, but Team Canada and Sandra Schmerler will have the hammer coming home. And on we go to Yukon Northwest Territories, Newfoundland. Final stone for Kelly Kalo after they blanked in 6 and 7 in a 3-3 tie. Final stone for the skip from the Yellowknife Curling Club. How far will they go? Too far. Now is it 1, 2? They're going to measure. We'll tell you after the measurement is over. As our featured game now goes to the 10th, and that's a big mistake by Quebec and their young skip to give up the steal of 1. 6-3. New Brunswick leading. Quebec has the hammer coming home.
Well, New Brunswick has the easy situation as far as the first few rocks. They threw the first one through. Quebec threw up the corner. New Brunswick tried the tick, but they tried it with big weight because they didn't want to leave anything around. So they were trying to just touch the corner guard over. Didn't make it, so the guard came back. That was the penalty when it was removed from play. Chance for a second corner, and to generate 3 points in the tie, Quebec needs these 2 corners up.
Well, that was just an inexperienced mistake by the young skip from Quebec, because that's a situation, Linda, where you just you take all kinds of ice, you take either the out turn, the in turn, you just draw to the 8 foot. You don't try to play down to something or tap it back, and it's something that hopefully that she can learn by. I mean, any skip, any top skip in our country, male or female, are just going to take enough ice to stay in the good ice area. And your front end has been timing for you, hopefully, because it's part of the game. And you play to the draw to the 8 foot. You just cannot try and play that in between shot, where kind of draw, kind of a draw, kind of a tap back.
Exactly.
Almost.
Julie Blackburn.
They're just trying to decide if they should put up another guard or come into the house.
Well, they need 3 to tie. Here in 10.
Wait.
Oui, tout le temps, les filles fort. OK. OK, Julie. OK.
Oh, you can't be worried about that. Yep.
Allison Franey.
Yes, I turned it in.
Turned it in, she says.
Whoa! 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 Whoa, June, as far as you can.
On the nose, aren't we?
As far as you can.
Go, Cass.
And all the way through, but leaves the center line guard.
c'est pesant.
Okay.
She called for another one out.
No, just going around, isn't she?
Yeah, in behind.
Yes.
That was a nice thing about the shot that Allison made. She got rid of 2 guards. When only 1 guard is up, you feel pretty good when you're up 3 points. Quebec really needs something to happen here. They need another miss.
But, wow, okay, okay. Usually.
Normal or even up a bit.
Been throwing that all night. Are we peeling here? Peel? Yep. Peel? Yep. Hard! 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 All the way! Get it over!
Nice shot.
Okay, that's good.
Yeah, it worked out well. Moved both of the guards. Moved the red one up. It's still usable by Quebec, but it's very tight to the rings. Makes it more difficult to come around.
Third stones. Quebec's Natalie Gagnon.
Wait.
As time and stones slowly running out here on this
Okay, whoa.
young team from the Riverbend Alma Curling Club in Alma, Quebec.
Yes. Encore ça roule.
Yeah. Normal. Just normal. Just nice normal. Okay. Yeah, you'll still in the red. That's fine. Normal.
Whoa! Whoa!
Normal.
Whoa!
Weight's nice.
Whoa! Whoa!
Whoa.
Whoa!
Whoa. Whoa.
Yep.
Your
Yeah,
way,
that's
Allison.
good, Cat.
Atta girl.
And exactly what they thought. They'd spill in the red, and it sits top 8.
That's a very nice shot by June.
Good one, honey.
Thank you.
That worked really nice.
Good sweeping.
They need them all to count now.
What she called down on top of it?
Right.
Boy, ball.
Needs the freeze.
Pin up.
Okay.
Wait, boss.
I'll throw good weight.
Okay.
So get rid of it and end it here for New Brunswick and Cathy Floyd.
Straight up.
Just
Been
like
a
you
well
can.
played in by New Brunswick. Quebec tried to get things going, tried the guards, tried the freezes.
Normal.
Yeah.
Normal.
Whoa! Whoa!
No, guys, not at
Clean it! Whoa!
No.
Clean it!
Okay, Kath. Good shot. Atta girl, honey.
And there it is. New Brunswick has run Quebec out of stones. They've got 2 left, right? That's it. It's 3 games. That's it. They look down and that's it. So it is.
Thank you.
New Brunswick has won it. 6-3 the final score. And so New Brunswick is now 3-4, as is Quebec. A difficult day for Quebec as they lose 2 in a row. Now we go over to the game between Team Canada and Nova Scotia as they play the 10th in a 6-6 tie. And Team Canada has the hammer, Sandra Schmerler. Nova Scotia, however, lying 1. 4-foot tee line after a marvelous raise by Marie-Claude. Nova Scotia skipped with her first one. This is the first stone for Sandra Schmerler.
Trying the run back. Must be close.
That's it.
Great shot by Sandra. It did come out in the open, though, and I think if Marie-Claude could just... Sandra's made some great shots, 1 on 8, 1 here. I think if Marie-Claude could just come down and touch that back a few inches, it could make it very, very difficult for Sandra to get her point to win this. Lovely shot by Mary just previous to that, as you mentioned, Linda, and a great shot by Sandra to run that back. If you miss that run back, you're really in trouble.
What was interesting on Mary's shot, which forced Sandra into that terrific shot, she played the tap. Now, we haven't been watching the sheet enough to know what the movement is like, but to choose the raise in the position she was in as opposed to the come around, we're not sure how much movement she will get here. But from the other sheets, we would think that she'd be easily able to come to the face of that one, tap it an inch, and then Sandra would be in a lot of trouble.
It looks like it's wide open. You can see the situation, but lots of room for movement. But you can see 3/4 of the stone, and you just need to throw it with back 4-foot weight.
Canada with a record of 4-2. Nova Scotia at 3-3 coming into this 10th draw on a Tuesday afternoon in Regina. These two, of course, hooked up at the Olympic curling trials back in November in Brandon, and Schmerler was a 6-4 winner over Marie-Claude.
Back 4. Gonna go for line yet. Go hard. Hurry. Whoa, whoa, whoa.
Front end of Heather Hopkins, Lisa McLeod trying to drag it by if they can. There it is. Now they got to get it right up on top, right up on the face. There it is. Oh, now who's closest to the pin? Who's got the pin?
The Reds. The Team Canada stone.
Yeah, she had to move it another inch, that's all.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Who's got the pin? Heather Hopkins figures it is. She's shaking. Marie-Claude hasn't quite accepted it yet.
Well, she had to.
Now they will. Team Canada by that much. By the pin. Wins it 7-6. So Team Canada and Schmerler will go to 5-2. Nova Scotia and Marie-Claude to 3-4.
Another foot of weight.
Not even a foot, Linda, a couple inches.
Just to bump it, eh? Just to give her a little bit. And yeah, it's been a long couple of weeks. Little more, and it came up that much short.
The Nabob Coffee Company has harnessed the power of the volcano. You see, the nutrients in this volcanic ash enrich the nearby coffee fields and help grow the better beans for Nabob tradition. I'm here to select only those better beans that meet our high standards and give Nabob tradition coffee its better flavor and aroma. At Nabob, we get better beans. You get better coffee.
I think that an economic forecast is more than a number. It's how's the economy going to evolve and how that's going to impact you. Our forecasts can really contribute to your retirement planning.
Canadian Imperial Bank of Commerce, seeing beyond.
You don't choose to have an accident, but you can choose your repair center. More than 1 million Canadians have relied on AutoPro, the largest network of automotive professionals. AutoPro Collision, a courteous reception, professional repairs, qualified technicians, specialized equipment, and in addition to AutoPro's national warranty, take advantage of our deductible protection plan. AutoPro Collision, people you can trust.
Since the Hendrick Racing Team started using Quaker State,
They finished 1-2 in the 96 Winston Cup standings. Finished 1-2-3 this year at Daytona. And they've won at Rockingham, Bristol, Martinsville, and Charlotte. Which makes you wonder, is it in their blood or in their engines? Quaker State. The quality the Hendrick Racing Team demands. The quality your car deserves.
You know what to do. Wild party last night, huh? So what happened to you? Last I heard, you were headed for some body piercing place. Man, that stuff's too weird for me. Anyway, I'm sure you didn't do anything too stupid. Hey, you're the man, cool guy. See you at the beach.
Thursday, the PGA's best tee off at the Nissan Open. Defending champion Nick Faldo leads a top-notch field in Valencia, California. PGA drama. See it on TSN.
We start with 4 sheets every draw. 2 games are complete. 2 games to finish here in this 10th draw. And we'll turn our attention now to sheet D, the game between Manitoba and Alberta. 6-5, Alberta leading. They blanked the 9th. Alberta maintaining control of the hammer. And so Lois, Fowler and the team from Brandon, Manitoba will need to steal to tie.
Well, when you're trying to steal a point, you just cannot afford. You get the one in front. You cannot afford to even try, I don't think, to play that second one out there just to get it across the hog line. That what happens inevitably is you get them close. They get the double peel. Great shot by Kate Horn to get them both off the center line. I honestly think you're better off to go to the 4-foot, and then the opposition has to make a decision to peel the top or to hit the one on the 4-foot. Make them make a decision. Now it's a matter of peeling situation for Cathy Borst. And this Alberta team has made very few mistakes so far in this round robin.
You have to remember when those double peels that Kate made a nice one. You don't have to get both of the rocks completely out of play. You just need to open up that center area. Kate did it very well.
Alberta at 4-1. Really take a hold of this round robin.
Thank you.
Big game for Manitoba.
Alberta's only loss coming to the Territories. In the 5th round, they lost 5-3.
Well, with Canada winning and going to 5-2, they would keep pace, of course, at 5-1. Heading towards a showdown tomorrow afternoon, Canada and Alberta. That would be draw 13 at 2 p.m. Eastern Time, Wednesday afternoon.
Lois Fowler, she's known by her friends as Feisty Fowler. She never gives up. She's not about to do it right now. Looking to steal the point.
The Alberta second is Brenda Bomer.
She's a little inside.
Coming Katie's way.
Not far enough.
Kate Horn.
You got the 2 guards slightly staggered. One pretty close to center line.
Short's fine, she's saying, but playing very well in this game. Obviously, we haven't been following the game, but 82%, those are good numbers.
Sure are. I might be tempted to, sorry.
No, go ahead.
I might be tempted to bring it in.
Yeah, I think I might too, Linda. Get it to the top 4-foot.
Sure.
Cathy has to make a decision if she's going to peel or try and sit there. She feels that it's harder for Manitoba to come around wide. They already have 2 guards up. You might actually try and sit there. It looks like she's just going to peel it out.
Good young curler, this young lady.
The former world junior champion, 1996.
We have fun with Heather. She going with the slider. She uses lots of body language, you can see, and that's the familiar stance we've seen so often. She'll slide now to the boards usually. Good peel. I agree with you, Linda. I would come right in. I'd come right to this area, no question, into this area here. Try and keep it in front of the tee line, or keep it in front of the tee line, not try.
Betty Cooling.
Either just too much ice or wide, one or the other. So it certainly didn't curl very much.
That's the point I was making. Do you want to sit there, make their shot, come around different, or do you want to peel it away? And Cathy's very definite. She wants to peel it away.
Yeah, the thing, and I don't blame Cathy, because what she knows, if Manitoba gets the perfect draw to the behind the guards, to the 4-foot, at least she has the 4-foot to draw to.
Absolutely, and that's why it's the skip's decision on this.
Yeah.
She'll sit top edge of the 12.
And I wouldn't like that stone there either. I want that peeled right off. This is, you know, this stone, I don't like the stone here because it looks like if Manitoba gets the good draw in here, that you're going to have, you know, if worst comes to worst, you're always going to have this draw to the button. That stone can present a problem with the ice. There may be enough room, but it just makes it that much more difficult. Cathy Borst was very crystal clear that she wanted the peel and wanted that out, and Heather, that's what she was playing, and that's what she tried to do, just that it curled a bit and she stuck. So terrific curling today. Once again, a full house, which really makes it fun for us to participate in and fun for the curlers to perform in.
You see that number?
She had a game, huh?
Wow, 100%.
Lois?
After 8 ends.
Goodness gracious. That's playing, isn't it?
But she's down by 1. Alberta leading, and Alberta, the team from the Otwell and Edmonton, has the hammer.
Lots of room was a call from Betty.
No, this is definitely not moving.
No, she's just not taking a little too much ice, maybe, or
maybe this is another reason why Cathy Borst wasn't that worried about leaving those 2 guards in that position. Maybe it won't come as well in that spot.
They wanted that one back behind the button just in case Cathy's stuck. Perfect weight, just didn't get any movement. That is the sheet D, closest to the stands sheet, Linda, so that we have noticed that the warm air coming down from the stands has been causing some frost situation in this area here, and we haven't been on that sheet the whole game, but
I thought she might even, it was staying so straight, I thought she might even get the little wick off the yellow and come over.
Numbers for both skips higher than they had coming into the game. Obviously Lois at 100%. That's just amazing. apparently that number for Lois actually was a little higher than she actually is. I would find it hard to believe that a skip, and I've skipped, I find it hard to believe that you're anywhere near 100% in a game this tough with these intricate shots.
Well, what do you do, Lou? What do you think? Play the little hit and roll, tap back and roll.
Well, this is where you have to decide what the ice will give you. If the ice isn't going to give you anything else, I would play the little roll off. Move it back and spin in behind the guard.
Looks like she's playing the draw again, though, so she can play the same draw she just played, take a little less ice. Coming down here, trying to get the rock right into this area here.
So the final stone.
Big difference.
And she's got to make it count. Manitoba and Lois Fowler trailing by 1. Look at her focus now.
Well, you make the good come around here, and all those numbers can mean nothing.
Absolutely.
If it goes on to be the winning point.
Manitoba at 2 and 3. Right? Excuse me.
Start to work, Wall. Lots of room. Lots of room.
She cut the ice down considerably.
You have to be aware it's going to slow down in
Gotta be the shot too. Gotta get it there.
Oh, just.
They won't need to throw their last one. Alberta will win it. 6-5 the final score. So Manitoba